Now we're working. Okay. Now we're good. Well, that was kind of annoying. Okay, well, I already did my dailies, did I? Yeah, I did. I like it. So as soon as the season started, I was just doing mirror dungeons on the side because I was like, I was gonna save going through the story for this. And, well, I'm level 50 on the battle pass. Also, I didn't get very lucky on the banner either, so, nope. Nothing with our daily roll. Let me spend one of those. It'll be fine. Alright. Let's get to it. Let's see. The surrendered witnessing. I don't know how long this will be, but we'll find out. Okay. 8-1, homeward bound. What team do I even want to use? Let's do 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Actually, let's take you out. Put you in. Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, right, I get to put more than that. There we go, we'll just do all that. And we'll just keep an eye. If game audio ends up being like too loud, we can just like lower it. Alright, what we got? What's going on? It's been a hot minute. See, flowers wilt, petals fall, a drizzle of blossoms, sky blotting. Colors fade, fragrances die, but whom will mourn their passing? To the garden I go, in hand a flower rake. Only to pace, less crush the scattered blossoms I take. In this troubled world I breathe, to shut my eyes. Is my soul reprieve?
험난하진 않았어요. 하루하루가 매일 신기하고 새로운 나날이었으니까요.
I don't know. I wouldn't quite call it that.
뭐라고 이야기를 나누고 있는 거예요? 식탁이 너무 넓어서 말소리도 잘 들리질 않고.
I could hardly hear them.
이걸 식탁이라고 부르는 게 맞나요? 여기서부터 저.
I mean, it's probably more like a dining hall than a dining room table, if anything.
혹여 소인이 도울 일은 불편? 당연히 밥 먹는데 성가시게 왔다 갔다 하는 게 제일 불편.
We're in the middle of a meal. Can you please stop?
아니에요. 불편한 거 없어요.
Thank you, Sinclair.
그럼 보가.
Lady Wing. By you, my boy. And others' parents. Where should I look? Is an appropriate size? Oh my god.
그럴 필요까지는 없어요. 내 집이다 여기시고 편하게 있으세요.
Okay.
아싸, 땡큐.
She's gonna eat literally everything.
집이 넓어도 너무 넓어서 편할 수가 없는데 말이지. 이러다간 물 한 잔 마시러 가다가 미아가 되어 버리겠어.
Yeah, you know, now I'm thinking about it, this place is excessive.
안 그래도 미아 보호소 시설이 방 곳곳에 있거든요.
Stray people shelters located around the house for that? Bro, do you guys have a lost and found?
그때까지 살아 계신다면 말이죠.
See, our servants visit them once a month to collect everyone who's unfortunately gotten lost. If they are still alive, bro, what the fuck? I don't think he's joking, Sinclair.
웃기려고 한 말은 아니지만 덕택에 재밌으셨다면 다행이에요.
Uh-huh.
그런데 홍묵은 다른 형제들은 어디에 있는가? 그대의 환영식이라고 들었는데 말이요.
I mean, look, man, we already had the sinking suspicion that he's not on good terms with his family.
내 환영식이기도 하거든.
Hey, it's my welcoming party too. There she is. Good old Ji Shi-chung.
그리고 얼굴만 봐도 인상 구겨지는 놈들을 보아서 뭐래?
Yeah, it seems to be the case. You know, I've kind of gotten that much from before, that you guys kind of aren't on the best of terms with everyone.
같은 식탁에 앉아본 것만 해도 거진 10년 전이야.
Fair enough.
그리고 말 걸지 마. 아까 내가 한 말 잊었어? 난 이제 너희들
There's nothing between us anymore. We're enemies. Oh no, I forgot about that part. Yeah, that did happen. That was not very good.
우리가 먼저 말을 걸었나?
I mean, that's true.
저는 우리 포기가
See, I'm simply glad that my son Balyu
이렇게 제 몫을 하는
has returned as a man
모습으로
who could now, oh man, carry more than his own weight and unharmed too.
그러니 보가 재촉할 생각은 없지만 다음 출가 날짜는 언제니?
Don't mean to rush, but when do you plan on departing again? That's okay.
아직 정해진 건 없어요.
Huh.
어머니.
Okay, that's strange.
그렇구나.
Concerned that you stay here prolonged, perhaps you might fade before. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, huh?
하지 못하고 저물까 봐.
Right.
가모님도 그렇게 생각하지 않으십니까?
그래.
Okay. So, okay.
우리 둘도 없는 진귀한 보물. 이 속세에 남아있지 말고 때가 되면 다시 떠나 그 가치를 다하거라.
When the time is right and you fulfill your worth. That's... Okay, that's very something. Ooh, I mean, that's one way to say get lost, but...
그럴게요. 할머니.
Okay, grandmother, mother. Damn. The hell? It's kind of harsh, Let's see. Through the entire familial discussion, Hongluf's expression remained the same, that tranquil, perpetual smile. Despite his return after years of wandering, being met with the family's obvious push to make him leave as soon as possible. He stands unaffected, as though he were expecting this gaudy yet hollow welcome. With his attitude being so passive, I had also no choice but to watch as a bystander. A few hours ago. Yeah, right, I was gonna say, how the hell did we even get here?
곧 가마가 오겠군요.
Wait, the penquin? Oh, wait, how do you pronounce that? Hold up. Palanquinal? Palanquinal? I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay.
가마. 우와, 여기는 무슨 가마를 타고 다니나 보네. 그치 그래?
Isn't that super, Craig?
그래, 소드 씨. 우리가 그 가마라는 것을 타고 가는 거지. 그렇지?
The comedic pair's desperate attempts to lighten the mood are particularly appreciated today, as tragically ineffective as they may be. You know what? That's okay. I take that.
네. 여러분들과 가시춘 씨는 H사의 주요 가문의 일원이 거주하는
I appreciate the extra vocabulary tag there, you know, the grand view. We're one of the most prominent families of H Corp reside. Okay. They sent the whole palanquin to pick us up. So that means Hongluf's family already knows that he'll be participating in the Family Hierarch War.
아니요. 아직 모르는 사안일 겁니다.
Let's see, it's likely that they're unaware. Yeah, considering what we just saw. Yeah.
전달했을 테니까요.
Let's see, waited until the last minute to relay that information to us. There's minimum chance of information leak. Fair enough.
귀향한 홍루 씨와 가시춘 씨를
Correct to presume that is here merely as a gesture of welcome. Okay. Because the way it sounds like this, the Hierarch War is kind of already decided. It's just kind of a formality at this point.
그런 만큼 가마를 타고 갈 수 있는 건 초대를 받은 여기 홍루 씨
And their factions can ride along. Okay.
그리고
그들을 따르는 세력들뿐.
To the Dagonyan.
LCCB 팀과
Mhm.
베르니우스 씨, 카론 씨는 함께할 수 없죠. 안타깝게도.
Oh, alright. Well, it looks like I guess that's it's just us on our own then.
아쉽네요. 같이 갔으면 좋았을 텐데요.
항상 이런 식이지. 우리 집 어른들은 여기 있는 사람들 다 재워도 티도 안 날 만큼 넓으면서.
Humongous park of a house. It's not like they noticed the difference.
그 말은 좀 감동인걸요? 가시춘 씨도 저희와 헤어지기 아쉬우셨나 봐요.
방금 전에 시원하게 내 뒤통수를 후려쳐놓고 말하는 꼬락서니가 얄밉네.
Look, to be fair, it's not like we would have known, and in fact, we were almost about to back you anyways, so... I don't know, man. Yeah, out of her hands.
왜 가주 대전에 참가한다는 게 무슨 뜻인지 다 알고 승낙한 거야?
Nope.
우리가 가주 심사라는 버젓한 명칭을 두고 왜 대전이라고 말하고 다니는 거야?
An evaluation. Probably to determine whoever's, I guess, the toughest to be the presumed leader of the household, right? I mean, that makes sense to me.
너희는 이제부터 언제든지 목숨이 노려지는 곳으로 들어가는 거라고.
Stalked at every turn by people looking to kill you. I mean, how's that any different from any of the nonsense that we've done so far? I mean, yeah, just go out for a walk in the back streets. Just tell me how great that's gonna go for you.
당연히 나를 포함.
Including me. Damn.
객잔의 일을 벌써 잊었어?
Uh-huh.
그때는 웨이가 네 목숨줄을 지켜줬지만 이젠 밤중에 직접 목숨줄을 끊는 암자로 찾아갈 수 있다는 거야.
Okay, very true, very true.
미리 유감이라는 말씀을 드리는 편이 좋겠습니다. 당신들에게는 칼끝을 겨누고 싶지는 않았습니다만.
Look, don't say that way. That's a death flag. We don't like that here. I would prefer you two stay alive because you two seem competent enough, or at least willing to talk to us. You know, can't always be a big band of murder hobos. They looked at us with an unfamiliar, cold, intense glare.
그건 우리도였는데 마음이 통했네요.
You're trying, Sinclair. You're trying. That's all I ever ask.
반대로 말해서 너희도 언제든지 나를 찌를 수 있다는
Literally this time. Oh my god. Thank you, Kruznik. Appreciate it. Also, how are you doing? 9 months. Wow. That's awesome.
아니요. 그럴 생각은 절대.
Sinclair, shut up! Shut up! You're making it worse! Okay. Pei-chun ignored Sinclair's anxious pleas and looked straight towards Honglu.
마음을 바꿀 마지막 기회일 수도 있어. 나는 마냥 가벼운 마음으로 내 세력에 들어오라고 제안한 게 아니야.
Uh-huh.
하물며 가주 대전은 그렇게 쉽게 한다만다를 결정할 수 있는 문제는
Flippantly decide that you want to participate.
내가 그렇게 살아왔듯이 나 역시도 어렸을 때부터 가주 대전에 대한 이야기를 수도 없이 들으면서 살아왔잖니.
Oh no. Your power was knocked out until just an hour ago. It was out since like the start of your stream yesterday. Oh no. That sucks, dude. Hopefully it didn't take too long. Well, to be fair, it was like almost the whole day, but you know, hopefully
그러니
it wasn't just your area or something. That would suck.
될 거야.
But hey, glad you're back, Kruznik.
그래. 여리게 남아 이어져 왔던 협력 관계는
This is where our tenuous alliance really ends. Unfortunate.
필요에 의한 잠깐의 동맹
Not like I care. Yeah, okay. Didn't drag on for too long for a temporary alliance forged out of convenience. I mean, look, we survived the night in the back streets. I think that counts, right?
원래대로 돌아가는 것뿐이니까.
Oh.
그럼 태평이 말이나 섞는 건 여기까지 하도록 할까?
Unfortunate.
네가 원한다면
If that's what you want. Damn, Honglu.
아, 시춘.
뭐
음?
가문의 사람들에게는 내가 참가한다는 이야기를
Please don't tell the family that I'll be participating, will you?
당분간은
I was told to keep this a secret for now. Okay. I mean, hopefully she's good for her word.
이제 와서 그런 부탁을 한다고.
One reason that I should do you a favor now. I mean, we kind of survived, although, well, okay, it wasn't exactly a backstabbing. We didn't mean to do it. You know, the corporate higher-ups did it. What can I say? For someone who supposedly doesn't care, Ji-chun appears rather hurt as she took a moment to glare at Honglu, biting her lower lip. And suddenly strode right up to him.
이게 정말 오빠의 선택은 맞아?
Is this even your call, brother?
아니면
Or are you just following their orders?
선택하는 것뿐이야?
I mean, yeah, we're technically just following orders. Gestured toward the rest of us with her chin.
내가 가주대전에 참가하는 건 이미 정해진 일일 텐데 그걸 궁금해하는 거라면
My participation in the Family Hierarch War is already decided, and if you're still curious to know why, then
지춘 너는
do you believe that my choices carry any significant meaning? Oof. That's, we're gonna get... By the way, if you're unfamiliar with what we're doing here, we're gonna get a little philosophical. Yeah, these story chapters are basically based on characters. This one, in this case, based on Honglu, and he is based on, I believe the novel is Dreaming of the Red Chamber or something. Something Dreaming Jade. It's a Chinese novel that has like multiple volumes. It's an old book, so every character is based off an old book. So we're gonna have a lot of interesting things that we may or may not see pop in this.
또 그렇게 나오겠다는 거지?
I see what's up in this crap again.
가주대전이 어떤 의미인지 알면서
Ah, I see.
내가 왜 그런 걸 물어봤는지
You have
모르겠네.
no idea why I'd ever ask you something like that, huh?
대답은 됐어? 더 말해서 묻겠네.
There's no point in trying with you anymore. Okay. Alright. I guess room temperature take on me. Well, obviously it's like, we've known for a little bit now. Honglu's kind of, he's on like the farthest end, I guess I would say, of like nihilism. Where, to give you an example, like Yi Sang is someone who's depressed, but he's not nihilistic. There is still some optimism, but he wasn't sure how to find it. And at least from what I remember of the intervallo before this, which was, you know, a little bit of the story that we did before this, like a while back, it's interesting because he's kind of so far off the deep end where he's just kind of going with the flow, like his life doesn't matter. And, well, literally with what's going on here, that's kind of the case. It's like, why is he being thrown into the Hierarch Family War? Because someone told him to. And, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
그런 얄팍하고 허튼 마음으로 어디까지 살아남을지 보는
That
게
shallow, meaningless attitude. Oof. That's gonna hurt. Hey, wait. Let's see. Zichun appeared pretty distressed after that exchange, and I was about to say something when Pilot, who had been fiddling around with the radio behind saw him, began shouting urgently.
과장님, 곧 가마한대가 도착한답니다.
Nope.
어제를 생각하면 오늘은 푹 쉬면서
Yesterday was too rough. Yeah.
그럼 빨리 타러. 아니, 지금 온 건 우리가 먼저 탈게. 어차피 양보해 주는 거엔 도가 텄을 거 아니야, 오빠. 응? 그런 게 어딨어? 공평하게. 그 있잖아, 가위바위보.
Do this fair and square, bro.
야, 차라리 가주대전도 가위바위보로 결정하자고 하지 그래?
I mean, if only it were that easy, huh? Gives a weary grin before leaving. Wei followed. Yeah, okay.
겨우 좀 친해.
And here I thought we were finally making friends. Look, it's okay, Greg. I'll be your friend.
저기 있다.
Oh boy.
기다리고 있는 걸 보니 의뢰자가 말한 후보가 분명해.
Let's see, a group waiting for the Pelican. One of them must be the candidate that the client told us about.
저쪽에서 몰려오는 괴한들이
Oh boy.
후보를 노리고 습격을 지시한 자가
Let's see. She was unlikely to be the only one that's going after the other candidates. Executive manager, yep. You know what that means. Yeah, what can we do, right? I just love that now this is business as usual for our guys. Is what it is. Alright. Let's get to it. Also, if anything, you know, if we gotta bump up audio, just let me know and I can bump it up. Oh, hell yeah, we get more of this track. That's good. It's a banger. You do anything special? Okay, bleed and tremor. Bro. Not tremor, dude. Who cares? Alright. You do anything special? Oh no! What? Why is it in lowercase? Oh no! Lose 5 SP on Clash Lost. Get staggered. Alright, I got you. We can bump it up. Thank you for the heads up. I had it lowered because I was actually, what's it called? When I was doing some mirror dungeon grinding, I lowered the volume just so I didn't hear the clashing sounds over and over. My bad. Okay, easy money. If this unit hits a target this turn, gain +1 attack up the next. If the target is Hong Lu, gain clash. Okay, so they're gonna focus Hong Lu out. That's gonna be what's going on here. Okay. And just make them lose clash. That's fine. Single target attacks, 3 hits. Wait, Pendulum crash. Yeah, okay. Alright, so it's tremor and bleed. That's fine. Wait. Gain 3 shield for every type of negative effect. It's okay. It'll be fine. Also, don't worry. The music is like a banger. So, you know, always the best part. Do that. Okay, he's gonna get bonus clash power because it's versus Hong Lu, but that's fine. And then everyone else can just kind of rip and tear, and we let it rip. Okay, alright. Good, getting some staggers out. Look, always first couple of turns is going to be us having to build up sanity. It's just how it goes. Wait a minute, is this on Clash? Or is this verse one-sided? Unopposed attack increase. It's okay. We're still faster. That's fine. And we do that. We're not going to be clashing. We just use skill 1. Skill 1. And then he's already got rupture, so we can just do that to pop him. Okay. Oh no. Alright, well she lost that clash, but that's fine. Wow, there you go. You finally got a heads. Alright. Okay, the 1 rupture. Definitely not going to be the reset. Look, I know I've been playing Mirror Dungeon too much when it's like... I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh, we've got enough to, like, just blow them up yet. No. Gotta actually play the game, bro. Okay, forensics. Good. You're fast. This guy's just gonna explode. Yeah, he's dead. Damn, now I'm wishing I got the other pack ones. Maybe we'll get Rodeo and Greg one day. Nice, good, you like that. How many enemies? 10 enemies? Okay, that's no problem. Actually, wait a minute. You have 2 actions. You know what? Fuck it, we could do this. Let's get resonance, we do that. And we switch this. Okay, we need more. Okay, we don't have enough for that yet. That's fine. Alright, you know what? Hold up. We'll do that. That will be better. How many stacks of trunk? Yeah, you got enough stacks of trunk. You have 17. Yeah, we'll be fine. And then... Yeah, that'll work. Alright. No heads, come on. Bro, please. Okay, well, you got heads on the last one, but that's not what I needed. Okay, lots of stagger going out. Are you dead? Oh, you're dead as fuck. Oh, you're so fucking dead. Let's go. Alright. Okay, it sounds like so many of them just got staggered. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be good. Let's see. And now that we have enough, we can just do this. And then that should just pretty much clean up. You know what? Just do this. There we go. Okay. I don't even think I'm gonna need to use that ego. No, okay, that's fine. You know, no heads though. That's alright, should still be enough to kill. Okay, he got one. But that's alright, these dudes are just gonna, like, get eviscerated by everyone else. And if you're curious, we're running a rupture team. Kinda had a feel- wait, hold the fuck up. Wait a minute, is that car being held up by dudes in boxes with legs? Wait, they got the... Hold on. You see these guys right there in the background, like where my cursor is? Wait, are they just... Is it a car, but instead of the wheels, it's the Jack-in-a-Box from fucking Lethal Company? What the hell? Okay, alright, never mind. Guys that attacked us when we first got here were endless. I mean, yeah, literally. Yeah, that is true. We literally did walk into a trap. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be real with you, Sinclair. No shit. I mean, we were about to make allies, and then, you know, corporate called and said, nah, we got different plans, bro. I get why she feels betrayed. Yeah. Agreed. Imagine you're one of their kids, thinking that you had found, you finally found like a potential ally in your family, only for them to pretty much stab you in the back at last minute. Yeah, it was really awkward on me too, even though I wasn't exactly involved. Look, Sada, it's okay. It's not your fault. You're doing your best. You're doing your best out here. She chimed in nonchalant as though it was her pulled the plug on our alliance in the last second. Yeah. Anyways. Let's see, can't afford to send us guards. If this family loved each other enough to send escorts for their safety, I doubt they'd be holding a cutthroat ceremony like a family hierarchy evaluation. I mean, yeah, that's fair take. It's a world where might makes right, and we're strong, prey on the weak. Ah, I know that. So we're living in the world of chaos then, from SMT. People will bat an eye if one of the dozens of candidates is found dead in some ditch in the road. Ooh. Ouch. That's no good. Hey, man, okay, look, Hongo, I didn't mean it like that, bro. Sorry. Oof. That's rude. Yeah, Usually someone stopped me before I got too far. Don't worry, you didn't say anything wrong, man. Look, look, dude, it's okay. It took me a while to realize that other families weren't like this, but there is really no reason to be upset by the way things are. Dude. Okay, man, if that's how you want to do it, I guess. Okay. Come on, Limbus. There we go. Okay, the bell tolls. See, what's that ominous metallic noise? The tolling of bells. Bells with resonance unlike that of any note. Normally marked by their clarity. Very poetic of you. Thank you, Mr. Ideal.
이 소리를 들으니까 고향에 왔다는 게 더욱 실감나네요.
An ill-toning bell. Wow, it sure is a resounding reminder that I'm home again. Sure.
소리는
Okay.
일정 시기가 되면 반드시 들려오는 소리랍니다. 홍원의 어디에 있던 간에요.
Okay. So, like, I'm assuming then there's something special about it, or, you know,
제적일이네요.
it's restructuring day.
네? 제적일이라는 건
Trails off, unable to finish her sentence, as a brutal scene unfolds behind us.
보여요? 건물들이
The buildings are all starting to shift. Wait, again? Because this happened before. You know, and that was when Ricardo got launched into the stratosphere back in the Intervalo. Okay. The buildings are all starting to shift. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's see. The buildings, all tethered to a complex network of rails, were either rising or sinking from into the earth.
방에 있는 모든 건물에 움직임이 관측된다. 남겨진 것은 없군.
I see. Well, hold on, I can do that. There you go. There we go, a little better. Let's see. Has been observed in every building in the vicinity. Everything is changing.
삭달막한 소란이 있긴
The localized shifting of structures we observed yesternight.
밤중에 보셨던 건 제적일의 전조 현상이었을
A
거예요.
premonition of reconstructing day?
알맞은 위치로 조금 이동했을 뿐일걸요.
Okay.
제대로 된 시작은 지금부터일 테죠.
Now this is the real deal.
그게 전조 현상이었다고요?
Just a premonition? Very strange way to put it.
지금의 홍원보다도 훨씬 전에 H사가 남긴 잔재라고.
Okay.
그때부터 지금까지 이어져 내려온 건물이라 정확히 어떤 무엇을 위한 특이점인지는 알 수 없지만
Let's see. It's a remnant of old H Corp that was here long before the current Hongyan. And this structure has been here for a while, so it can't quite know the nature of its purpose, or purpose of its singularity. But at this moment, yeah, okay, so it's just shifting the things around in the area. I mean, we kind of read that in the brochure last time, but
지금은 현 H사의 제적일 기준에 맞게 움직이고 있을 뿐이죠.
they shift based on the current H Corp's reconstructing standards. The fuck does that mean? The world's assembly shifts overnight. Yet those toiled and toiled have not defeated. Wait a minute, isn't this the? I remember in the Intervalo, like some of the locals were singing a song. Unless this is it. Also, holy shit! Wait a minute. I'm just now looking at that image in the background. The hell? Is it not joyous to have a place to rest your feet tonight? It kind of looks like Rubik's Cubes with how, like, they're shifting around. Like, what the hell? For those who weren't availed the fortune, this is simply the reality to bear. The only choice is to retreat in silence and accept your fate as one might. Okay. Let's see. Await the coming month and ponder how one might save their skin. How many shall plummet today and how many shall remain? Hold on not to all things too tight. Okay, well, if we're going off of that, I guess this is supposed to be like a proverb about worldly attachment? Okay, yeah, that's a little bit on the nose then. Okay, maybe I'm onto something. For you may lose sight of when to let go and feign ignorance when you must take flight. Oh, Jesus! Oh, shit! Oh, you see the fucking people falling! Oh, no. The consequence of reassembly for the evicted is an endless plummet? What a terribly distressing sight to behold, unable to do aught to help. And this is another one of the H Corp idiosyncrasies. Jeez, what the hell?
가치가 존재하지 않던가요?
That's really bad. Ugh. Well, that's one way to do gentrification. Literally rotate the buildings around and drop the people out the windows. What the hell? Okay. Let's see, I didn't know other nests also have their own measures of one's own wealth.
T사가 시간을 제어로 썼던
See, T Corp makes use of time as a currency, which, yeah, that makes sense.
맞아요.
Mhm.
이것 포함하는 그 척도와 재화가 공간의 소유 규모를 단위로
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Exactly. H Corp's measure of wealth and currency is based on how much space a person owns, measured by the scale they call rooms. Are we talking about? Well, okay. Let's be upfront here. Okay, so this is based off Chinese literature, Chinese culture, also mixing in a bit of Korean culture. So it makes me think of like, in those cultures, at least to my knowledge, a lot of your personal wealth, or like, how do I say this? It's personal wealth, and then like, I guess importance is usually tied to how much homes or real estate you own. At least that's what I've heard. So that's kind of an interesting way to go about that. I mean, that's a quite literal way.
소유한 건물의 면적이 곧 재산의 척도라는.
I guess the measurement of one's space is the measurement of one's wealth. Yeah, exactly.
네. 그래서 한 달에 한 번
Once every month, the worth of a person's labor and the quantity of their income are measured to determine how much space they are assigned. Ah, I see. I see. So if you can't make ends meet, then you're a smaller space. Oh, that sucks. This is bad.
갑자기 내 집에서 밀려난다는 거야?
So they can just kick me out of my home for no reason. Yes. That's exactly what's gonna happen, Greg.
아니 뭔
What kind of ridiculous rule is that? Yeah, I'm with you there.
이곳에서 한 번도 나고 자란 적 없는 저희야 좋게 느끼겠지만
Let's see, it might appear that way to outsiders like us, but
전부터 존재했던 홍원의
calculations behind these redistributions are meticulously designed to have been here for a long time. So it seems like everyone just accepts them as a natural part of their lives. You know, I think I made the joke when I was playing through, what's it called? Time Killing Time with a friend. And it made me think about it, where it's like, in Time Killing Time, it was in the T Corp section where they use time as a literal currency. So you literally go into time debt, and if you're in the negatives, the world around you is slowed down tremendously. And they gave an example of a rich person where we talked to a factory owner, and he's moving at like 20 times the speed. So when he tried to talk to us, it literally made no sense. So he would have to use a tape recorder, record him speaking, then play it back slowly so we could understand him. Also very interesting too. That section of the city that we went to for that chapter is based off of Britain. So it's like industrial era Britain. Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. And then meanwhile we're here in like what is the place called? Kowloon, the walled city that people always talk about in China. Yeah, exactly. It's in time with Justin Timberlake. Exactly. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
그럼 홍루 씨도 직접 보신 적
Have you seen this happen in person too, Honglu? It's reconstructing day.
보았죠.
I have.
제 방에 있는 난간에서
Sometimes I've watched the cityscape from beneath the railings of my room.
있으면 아주 멀긴 했지만
It happened far, far away from me, but I could see it very well. Remains tranquil and still as he calmly reminiscence. It was like then, when he was merely watching the featureless scenery passing by.
제가 살았던 대관원은 제적일에 별 관심이 없었어요.
Bagagnon, my old home, was never too concerned about the reconstructing day. We'd get more rooms some days, but we'd never, ever shrink. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, your home's essentially a castle. And, you know, the Grand Garden, I mean, it makes sense why it's a park.
볼 뿐이었죠.
I've never been affected by these reconstructing days. I've only witnessed them as someone, or as they happened beneath me, high up in my room.
너는
You're... Fine, I thought there was anything you could do. Oh man. Yeah, Krista, could you tell that good old Heathcliff here is British? He's our British thug. Oh man. Okay, fair enough.
이런 꼴을 보고도 그냥
Just sat on your hands and watched all this shite. Yeah, Heathcliff trailed off, but I could see that he was gritting his teeth. Look, makes perfect sense. I mean, my man's got the biggest grudge against the wealthy.
가마한대가 더 도착한다고 합니다.
당신들을 태울 가마가 온 것 같네요.
And there's your ride. I think we've chatted enough, so let's get you guys going. Oh, man.
이게
This is a falcon?
네. 그래도
Looks like they sent us a falcon large enough to comfortably seat a big crowd of people together.
가복 도련님이야. 귀빈 12분 마.
And his 12 honored guests, correct? It's 13 to be exact. See, but I thought Sade wasn't invited.
잠깐.
Hmm?
소인이 듣기로는 분명
It was just 12 people. Oh? Aggressively striding towards him, causing the falcon bearer to shrink in fear. Whoa, slow down, lady.
12.
We are 12 people. What's wrong?
설마 당신
I mean, don't tell me this thing looks like a normal contributing member of a clan to you. Huh? No! Don't put me in the luggage compartment! Suddenly grabbed my shoulders and presented me before the bearer like I was some product. I mean, that's a pretty unique head on this one, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like it around here in Hongyan. But isn't that just a prosthetic in the shape of a clock, I guess, but still.
생각을 좀 해보세요.
Uh-huh.
아무리 돈 없는 애잔한 인생이라 하더라도
Stick a clock on their head. Right, yeah. If they were hurting for cash.
말이 되나요?
Never. Mm-hmm.
다양한 재주를 부릴 수 있는 생체 시술이 차고 넘치는구먼.
Damn. Wow, rude? Whatever the hack job is, nobody in their right mind would.
제 말이요.
Exactly, right? No idea what went down, but this fellow here sure seems to have fallen down on hard times. Too bad we live in a world where so much misinformation can befall an honest soul like them. Boy, oh boy, it looks like this one's got scammed, a nasty scam. Dude, whatever backstreets they got that from must have been a real scoundrel who did it. Tisk tisk. Bro, I can't believe it. Dude, she is gaslighting o'clock. Holy shit. Look, even this clock isn't on time, and the poor person is barely conscious. Look, all they can do is make weird ticking noises because they don't even have a mouth. Those were some pretty darn... Those were some pretty darn hurtful things to say, but I decided to not take them at face value. You don't have a face. It was pretty obvious what she was trying to do. Somebody... Tell Sade I'm getting dizzy. Good grief, they weren't kidding. Who could have done something so awful?
다행히도 우리 마음씨고
I can't believe it.
시계상이 팔고 있던 걸 차마 눈뜨고
Wow.
싶어서 주운 거예요.
Oh my god, no way, dude. It's a real blessing that young Master Balu's got such a kind-hearted soul. He simply could not walk past the timepiece emporium selling this human being like there's some kind of toy or a tool. So he must have picked them up to get their head replaced with something proper. Hongyan's gotta have more than enough resources for something like that, right? I can't believe she's getting away with it. No way! It's real easy to swap out your whole body as long as you got the cash to burn. Well, a new head for me? Dante, shut up! Ain't no way. See what I mean? Oh my god. Only has 12 people in his faction, including yours truly. But we can't just let all of us aboard, or young master will fully understand the moral conundrum you find yourself in. Oh no. Here's some bills from her pocket and smoothly slides them to the Falcon Bearer's zone. Oh man, oh lady, you really shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't. Oh, and another thing. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but if a word gets out, things might get pretty messy for both of us. And that doesn't happen, does it? Oh no. Indubitably, ma'am. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Thanks, Heathcliff. Very cool. It seems like the bloke's doing this purely out of the interest of the fatness of his wallet. Yeah. Uh-huh. Wait, are we leaving Pilot here alone? Pilot seemed to have noticed me staring in his direction. He stopped fidgeting with the radio and waved at us.
저는 여기서 처리할 것이 남았습니다. 걱정 마시고 몸성이 다녀오시면 됩니다.
Sure, Pilot. I'm sure it's gonna go great. Extravagant limousine than a Pelican. Okay.
이 샴페인 마셔도 되는 거야?
Can I chug this? Girl, no, not now. Of course not. Drinking while on a mission is... Uh-huh. Let's see. To the hubbub and unexpectedly flashy appearance of the Pelican caused. Her demeanor has shifted entirely into that of a calm and collected strategist, a far cry from the person who was just chatting up a storm with the bear just a minute ago. Okay, time to get to work, everyone. Yep. Okay, all right. What could possibly happen? Oh. Come on. There we go. Oh, man. Wait, yeah. Okay, wait. So, no, the limousine literally is being carried by, like, these dudes. Or, like, the boxes with legs, dude. I just realized that. Let's see. Disruption. We'll still rock our team. Wait, what level did it say it was? 47? Yeah, we're fine. We can just stick with our team. Worst case, if we start getting underleveled, we could always just hit up the EXP mines and we'll be fine. Okay, then you'll... Something's going on outside. Oh, really? Oh. A grating speaker whine rang out, followed by the worried voice of the bearer on the other end. Great. I thought things were going a little too easy. It's not surprised that the other candidates are trying to eliminate us just in case. Why am I not surprised? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. More of these guys. Well, that's easy for us. Hold on. Gain 3 shield for every negative effect. Okay, that's fine. We're not dealing with that. You can do that. Do that for the clash win effect. How fast are you? Wait, you're 6'2". Not at speed plus 10. Man, yeah, I heard you like Yu-Gi-Oh card text, right? How about a big essay on top of that? We can just do that. That'll be fine. You're blocking just coin 1. You're blocking coin 1. Blink step is fine, and just do that. Actually, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, just do that. Nice. Good damage, and we got the mark stack. Good, we like that. Oh, remember posture check. Don't want to get that the gamer goblin hunchback. You remember sit up straight. So do that. Wait. Unopposed. That's good. He's just gonna explode and die. We can just go to skill 1 on that. Let's see. Wind clash. Inflict that. 10% for every rupture. You have 3 rupture on the target already. Yeah, that'll be fine. We can do that. And we keep on stacking that. And you... Let's see. Doesn't have 6 rupture. It's fine. We don't need flash power. We can just do that. Big hint. You played Yu-Gi-Oh! For like 6 years when pendulums started becoming a thing. You're still learning. You had no idea what to do. Dude, you know, it's funny. So, like a while ago, my friends got me back into playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's been a while since I played now. But actually sitting down and like trying to learn newer archetypes was interesting because like I was kind of in the same boat as you, although I stopped playing originally like when pendulums came out because pendulums were like really overpowered for a while, and then like because remember how the pendulum zone was like a separate thing from like where you put spells and trap cards, so like I had no idea what I was doing, and like pendulums were like the meta. You just always had to play pendulums. Like I was cool with synchros. I think synchros are fun, but I didn't quite understand how to do pendulums, and then Link Monsters came out, and that was okay, but Link Monsters are just kind of good cards in general, you know? Remember, not a certified Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, but I do play a little bit. Look, it's okay. I played a bad deck, though. I played Ancient Gear Golem, and that game... Look, Ancient Gear Golems are horrible. Don't ever actually try to play that deck. It's bad. But, is it fun? Oh, dude, it's fun to play with some friends. Look, me and my friends like to play some bad archetypes every once in a while because it's just funny, you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with playing a fun bad deck with your friends. That, and it's like, I think, so like whenever we would hang out, what one of my friends would do is he made a bunch of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks that are based off of like different characters from the show, and most of them are pretty accurate with the deck list, so it would be really funny. We'd do character duels for fun, and it is hilarious because if you ever play Cyrus's deck from like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it's just so awful. You can never win, dude. It's so bad because every Psychroid is just awful. Oh, man. Look, I've tried to make Psychroids good, and they're just bad. They're just horrible cards. They're big vanilla monsters with no effect and no summon protection. Oh, man. Look, man, all I could say is, Cyrus was a bitch. He had one of the best cards in his deck, and he was scared to use it. Look, limiter removal? Cash money, bro. You want to win? Use that. It's the only way to make his bad deck do stuff. Oh, come on. It's okay. No heads, apparently. Alright, it looks like Rodeo's got it. Nice. Yeah. You think you stopped when Link Zones became a suggestion and mainly stopped playing in a local tourney. A guy nearly flipped the table on you. You like playing Altergeist and Zombie. Oh, you're one of those guys. Basically, I like to tell my opponent, no. Oh, no. Now I understand. Understandable. Reasonable crash out. Oh, man. Very reasonable crash out. I understand. All right, Disruption Part 2. Get back into the meat grinder. We go. You know, Zombies is an archetype that I actually wanted to play. I think I ended up playing a lot. Like, I remember when the Dragon Maid set came out, and I wanted to make that deck, but I didn't really get all the cards. But I did get all the cards to play Mathmech. So Mathmech Synchro, and then, what's it called? I played Mathmech Synchro, and then there was like one other one I played, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now. New skill 1. And it was, Gene Raider? Or Gen Raider? That was a lot of fun to play too. Like, it was really fun because, like, I made just token, because you basically spawn a bunch of token cards, and the idea is you play as the raid bosses, you summon raid bosses, you have loot, and when people kill your tokens, like, it's weird. It's a fun archetype. It's very different. Like, either way, it's like, I'll be honest, that set that came out with Dragon Maid, I actually liked all the archetypes that were with it. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a very fun time for me to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! But look, then I think what's it called? The Master Duel came out, and Master Duel's really good. Like, I remember when good old DZ would go on his rants talking about how he hated not Master Duel, but the older Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling game, and it was so bad. Yeah. Let's see. He loved the Dragon Maids, but he didn't like that they were just used as an engine rather than their own thing. Yeah, like, you could try to play them as like a full-on Dragon Maid deck, but my only problem is, I like that. The problem is they are literally just big vanilla beaters with like the effect to turn into the dragon. That's literally it. Which, it's fun, but you know, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! In current day, so if it's not like if it doesn't have any summon protection or, you know, target protection, that card's just cooked. It's just over. Very unfortunate, because it's a very fun archetype. Then meanwhile, it's like, I think one of my friends in college, he used to play tons of like E-Heroes, but like he would always get like a different E-Heroes. Like I think, what was it? Was it Dark E-Heroes, or it was like the Mass Change special deck that you would do, where it's like, I remember there was like some ninjas or something in the deck. I know it's been like forever since I've thought about it. But it was a really cool setup that he would run. Yeah, that'll be fine. He can do the Clash Wind effect on that. Let's see. Nice, good. And he's staggered. Oh, this guy's gonna explode. He's so dead. Hell yeah. We're doing that. Yeah. Unless, do we have... Oh, we have enough. You know, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna use our super. Look, we built that up... English. Wow, that was hard. We built up enough resources. We're good. We can just start throwing some egos in. Oh, you played the weather archetype? Oh, man. Let's see. When Masterpiece was legal. Fair play, fair play. You know, it's funny. It kind of makes me think a little bit. It makes me think back to, what was it? Oh my god, what's the guy's name? Rada Rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Where he would do like the archetype archive. Look, that's where some of the fun stuff was, where me and my friend would look through like the playlist and take a look at like these older archetypes, which are obviously very bad with the good old best of the worst. But dude, making fun decks out of bad archetypes can be fun just for fun. Like, look, I will say, whenever it comes to like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With friends, I usually like to treat it like we have the gentleman's agreement of, please don't bring a meta deck, because I don't want to sit here and watch you play Solitaire. We're here to have fun. So if we're playing bad decks, bring a bad deck. You know what I mean? Like, because think about it this way. If I'm going to play something like Ancient Gears, like I literally play Ancient Gears with a Chaos Max. That's how I play it. Dude, ain't no fucking way I'm going to play that shit for any modern deck. I literally would never be able to play the game. So, you know what I mean? That's just is what it is. Ooh, whoa, fancy. Wow, whoa, we went way up on the map here. Yeah, okay. Interesting. All right, petals. I am very curious. Okay. Entering Dagwon-yon now. Despite some troubles along the way, it seemed that we managed to arrive at our destination, mostly unhurt. Dagwon-yon, Honglu's old home. Let's see. LG says a tournament specifically for rogue decks. All meta decks are banned. That's good. That's really good. I think that's like one of the best ways to go about it. Meanwhile, it's like, look, I think everyone has that one friend that when you sit down and play like card games with, they will always bring a meta deck, and I'm like, whoa, it's rough, man. It's like my man said we're not allowed to have fun. Let's see, understand for the most part of my plan, right? Mm-hmm.
그리 보기 좋은 광경은 아닐.
Unlikely to be a pleasant sight to behold.
핵심은 그들이 여러분을 죽이려 들어도 당황하지 않고 기다리는
Remain
것이
calm and wait. So even if they freak out and actively try to kill you.
질에 겁을 먹고
Interesting.
떨어질 수도 있겠죠. 하지만 홍원의 가주를 심사하는 자의 담력이 그 정도는 아닐 거라 생각합니다.
Aha. Right. Okay. See, there is a chance that they may panic and immediately order for the sinners to be executed on the spot. However, it is unlikely the person whose responsibility is to judge the next family hierarchy of Hongyan will make such a hasty response.
그렇죠. 상대의 그릇이 크기만 하다면야.
Interesting. Exactly. Everything's going to be fine as long as the decider has a capacity for patience.
죽여? 뭔 얘기야?
Thanks, Heathcliff. Huh? What? Look, just keep yourself busy. Don't do anything stupid. You got a guy like that in your playgroup. A fundamental misunderstanding of what is considered powerful. Yeah, like a couple of my friends in or like a couple of my friends when we play MTG or more like I watch them play MTG. I'm still trying to learn how to play the game. When I watch them play MTG, they set a budget for the deck, and then they say, okay, you can't get, like, we use the ban list, but then also you can only have a budget of certain cards, so be realistic. You're not going to run $300-400 cards or something like that, so that's always a very interesting way to go about it, you know? Great. I'll follow up with the subsequent contact once you've safely completed the first round of the evaluations. Interesting. Yeah, after the cryptic exchange with Faust, Sonnet leaped gracefully off the moving pelican as Heathcliff murmured in his half-sleep. We watched her grow smaller and smaller as the distance between us grew, and what really caught our eyes were the scattered humans that the restructuring day had evicted from their homes. They were all trying to drag their broken bodies off the road, sobbing and writhing. Okay. This is horrible. There isn't anything we can do to help, but...
그런 무력한 감각은 업무 효율에 영향을 끼친다.
Such a sense of futility and powerlessness will leave negative impact on the efficiency of your on the efficient performance of your professional obligations. Thank you, Marcelo. I appreciate you for speaking very professionally. Repeated exposure to similar stimuli is recommended to desensitize oneself to this sensation. Yeah. Your group has it that as well. A $25 deck. You run a Kindred deck. Okay. Yeah. So Honglu, how do you feel about going home after so long? Sinclair changed the subject. I don't know.
말해라고 하냐?
Don't even need to ask him, lad. I know it can't be easy. Aw. Yeah, I'm sure you would know about that, Heathcliff.
나는 중간에 그냥
As for me, blimey, I almost hesitated 1,000 times, wondering if I should just turn around and leave. What if I knocked on those gates, but she... Ooh, yeah. Heathcliff came to a suffocating stop, his voice trembling lightly as he did so. The other sinners stared at him in a confused silence. What? What is it? Why don't you stop in the middle of a... Wow! Look at all these cool windows! Do you think we can swap them out with other images? I tried to swerve from the subject again, but all I got was Ishmael's scolding glare that seemed to wordlessly tell me, not the time.
기억나요?
I remember.
각자의 희노애락이
I remember what happened each time one of us returned to a part of the city that held on memories of happiness, anger, sorrow, and joy. And as we traveled, I remembered that they were all looking at sceneries only they could see. Yeah. Oh, so you played a Spider Kindred? Oh.
로자 씨는 계속 어설프게 농담을 하시려고 했고
Rhodia, you awkwardly tried your best to crack jokes.
싱클레어 씨는
Sinclair, you tried your best to hold back the welling tears again and again.
그리고 이상 씨는
You sang you shut your eyes for a long, long time.
이스마엘 씨는 호수를
Ishmael, you couldn't stop talking to yourself while glaring down at the lake's surface.
히스클리프 씨는 잔뜩 겁을 먹어서 머리를 수없이 매만지셨어요.
Oh, and Heathcliff, I saw you scared and anxious, shaping your hair over and over again. You really have been watching us closely, huh?
우리가
Did we?
있었나?
봄 가버리면 터지고 자기만의 문 찾아 제각각 돌아가리.
Spring leaves, petals scatter, and all shall turn around to find the doors in which they belong and return forevermore.
저는 말이죠. 다들 각자마다 모아둔 꽃잎들이 있다고 생각해요.
I think everyone has a small mound of petals they've gathered for themselves.
나 없는데?
I don't. Why would I collect something like that? Bro. Heathcliff. Metaphor.
그러면 아직 버리지 않고 있는 것.
And then you simply haven't discarded them yet. There was still a transparent smile on his face, but I think I saw a burying, sinking shadow behind it. Oh. The moment I felt that, a familiar light came into view, and I immediately understood what was going on. The golden bow is close, and it's resonating with Honglu's fathoms. Ooh. Oh. They watched the flower burial of mine and mock away. Who lays me to rest once I die? When spring passes, youth passes, as wrinkles shed it away. Flowers pass, people pass, and ignorant they remain where they lie. Why do you always recite these strange, complicated poems, Dayu? Oh. There are plenty of ways to remain young, aren't there? I mean, in the city? Probably. You have a kindred deck for a legendary spider in MTG? Oh. Because we needn't see the snow in our hair to know that spring will pass. Interesting. Why are you cleaning up those fallen petals? And be so wasteful? Interesting. How will we hear the sound of falling rain once we sweep all the petals away? This is a remembrance. Remembrance of a rainy day, so I'm going to treasure it. Besides, these beautiful blossoms will get dirty in the stream if we let them float away. Don't scatter all the petals from your embrace, big bro Bayou. Interesting. Okay. Honglu. Is there anyone that you miss here at the Dagonyon? No, there isn't. How's that possible? Isn't your family here? And a bunch of other people who are important to you? Yeah, I think he might get it. Well, as long as I believe them to be doing well, there isn't any need for me to yearn to seize them again. I mean, okay. Like, I get where you're going with this, but at the same time, that's a little hopelessly optimistic. Do you still treasure your petals? No, I scattered them all the day I departed my home. So my rainy days are now silent. I see. You saw that, didn't you, Dante? You saw my memory. Ooh, yeah, I did. Honglu laughed. He wasn't surprised or angry that I peered into his memories.
홍루 씨의 부모님은
You want to tell us about your parents, or,
아니면
Yeah, you talked about your grandmother pretty often, right? What kind of people are they?
할머니라는 분이
Maybe crazy? Sinclair added carefully. Maybe he was trying to commiserate. Tenuous as that connection may have been, we were headed to his home to meet his family anyways.
다 이치에 밝으셔요.
But very wise in the ways of the world.
할머니는 항상 저를 아껴주셨고요.
Let's see, grandmother always treated me preciously,
어머니도 아버지도
as did my mother and my father. Okay. Uh-huh.
아, 거의 다 도착했나 봐요.
Mm-hmm.
정원이 보이네요.
See the garden. This is one massive garden? I mean, well, kind of makes sense with the name now, huh?
본가 안으로 들어가려면 아직 조금 남았어요.
We still have some time before we get to the main buildings.
정원에서
I remember the days when deers and hares would frolic out here in the garden.
이거 산책하려면 하루 종일도 걸을 수 있겠는데요.
I can see myself taking a long walk around here. It'd take the whole day to cover some of the entire ground. I mean, geez. Like, how big is this? But actually, you know what? No. This makes sense then, because he did talk about, well, obviously, they have a big place. That's how they sort of get around the old H Corp rule.
주로 저는
I usually lingered only around my room. It's dangerous to stray far from it after all. Right. It's dangerous? Why?
잘못된 길을 걷다가는 예상치 못한
See.
사람도 만날 수 있고 표적이 될 수도 있고요.
There's stranger danger, getting lost, getting targeted, and besides, it's very dark at night. Well, that ain't a very big deal, is it? Kids run around and scrape their faces on the branches and trip and eat shite on the pavement all the time. What the hell, Heathcliff? Like, not everyone... Yeah, exactly.
같아요. 그래도 항상 조심하는 편이 좋아요.
Oh, thank you. Let me rehydrate. Let me drink some water. Thank you. I'm sure you would have run freely around the garden, Heathcliff, but it's important to always be careful.
살 때는 나뭇가지에 누가 치명적인 독을 발라놓았어요.
I know, right? Just in case you forgot, this guy is British inspired. Look, what can I say, man? Look, I would joke and say Heathcliff grew up in Birmingham, but he was more like he was found on the streets of Birmingham, and then like a rich dude picked him up and said, "I am now your father. These are my children. You welcome to the family, son." Let's see. When I was 5, someone had lathered a deadly poison on a random branch.
독을?
Damn.
히스클리프 씨처럼
I had a little brother who liked to frolic like you do, Heathcliff.
우연인지 딱 그
But by some coincidence, he happened to be running around the same tree that had its branches lathered with poison.
어떻게 되었는가?
What had transpired thereafter?
괜찮아졌을 거예요.
I'm sure he got better. No? I don't know about that one.
스빈이 백반만
Zirin told me he'll be fine just after 100 nights rest. 100 nights rest? What the fuck?
스빈은 언제나
And because Zirin was always so smart, I'm sure it happened exactly as she said. I think so. I think he might be dead. Just a hunch. That's my guess. Okay. Alright. Ji Bao Yu. Also Honglu's actual name. Alright. Entering the Grand Flower Hall. Let's see, Na Hao Ting. Okay. See, it wasn't long before our arrival to a new place within the Dagonyan was made known by the Pelican Bearer's sonorous announcement.
뭐가 이렇게 많아? 대화총은 또 뭐야?
Let's see, what does the whole thing mean? Anyways,
쉽게 말하면
like Grand Flower Hall. Let's see, so you'd call it a place for banquets. So, yeah, just a banquet hall. You've hosted banquets in this village-sized venue? You know, now I'm thinking about it, it literally is that big of a deal.
저기 보이는 건
Is that a lake over there?
아, 그건
Nope, it's a
연못이잖아.
pond. A pond? Yeah.
도착하면 저랑 시춘이
Oh man. You know, the friendly reminder that not everyone is as crazy rich as him. See, once we arrive, we'll find ourselves at welcome party for Jishun and me.
아, 로자 씨도 오랜만에 정말 배부르게 드실 수 있겠네.
Rodia, you should be able to stuff your face to your heart's content this time. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, look, I'm glad that you care about your friends. I don't think I've ever been this excited in a long time. Yeah.
저건 배인.
Is that a ship over there? You have a ship? Yeah.
아,
Yep. We sometimes go out boating. In the pond.
아, 그리고 연못처 너머에는 시춘이
And Jishun's building is right across that pond. You each get a building of your own? Wow, this is a very Chinese culture thing.
그래서 처음 홍원을 떠났을
Yes,
때
we do. So when I first departed from Hongyeon, I found the concept of an entire family living under the same roof so fascinating. You are a very strange man.
이래서는 가족끼리 얼굴 한번 보기도
Be
힘들고.
quite a challenge for thy family to see one another. Yeah, you literally wouldn't really see each other. You'd have to like go and pay a visit. It's oh no, you know what this is like? This is like when how do I phrase this? You know how like a gated community, sort of, except like it's each house is owned by like the same family, sort of. I don't know how to describe it like that. It's kind of tricky to explain.
그러기 위해서 따로 쓰는 걸요?
Interesting. Hold on. Also, I realized. Let me fix this. Hold on. We'll do that. Hold on. Let me just like fix this real quick. I just realized we're good old game box is stretching. Here, you know what? What if we did this? How about that? This any better? Although I may be blocking some stuff, but we'll see. Let's see. Are we even talking about the same thing here?
이럴 거면 vacation을 처음부터 홍루군의 집으로 잡아주지 그리하였어.
Let's see. Alack for woe! We could have had merely enjoyed our vacations at young Honglu's residence after all.
그건 곤란해요, 동키호테 씨.
Alright, perfect. There we go. Oh, well, I see now the text box a little freaky, but don't worry about it. It's the things we do. Let's see. Yeah, like a landlord, he runs everything owned by him. Let's just call it a village and move on. Yeah. Let's see. See, that wouldn't have worked, Don Quixote. When I left home, grandmother and the elders really impressed upon me that the footsteps shall eventually bring you home when the time is right. Thus, witness and only witness as much of the world as you may before you make your return. Not ominous in the slightest.
시간이 속절없이 흘러.
I was wondering what that might be, but the time really slipped through our fingers, and just like that, it brought me here. Most sinners did not welcome their turn. Some of them were even terrified of it. Sometimes, they had to confront what they'd been avoiding all their lives. And for some, important things that were once forgotten or lost were waiting for their return. But their reluctance is not really surprising at all. I don't think I'd welcome an opportunity to get my memories back with open arms if I was thrust upon me out of nowhere, especially if I was getting dragged there against my will. But despite the fact that it couldn't be more obvious that his turn had arrived, Honglu was tranquil as he ever was. He was always able to remain aloof no matter what happens. Maybe it won't be different this time either. Even so, can I judge that so hastily?
가시 자시오!
Oh, I see, I see. Hold on, actually, if I do this, hold on. Like we're doing a little bit of tweaking here. 1 second. I found a way to fix it. Okay, what if I do this? You're gonna see me here for a second. Then I do this. Oh. Hold on, don't mind me, I'm just fixing it real quick. There we go. Alright, this should be a little better. Just let me know how that looks. See. Again with the Pelican bears deep, full-throated... yeah, that's a way to say that. Deep, full-throated announcement of our arrival at the door opened.
자, 필요하실 텐데 어서 들어오세요.
Okay, here we are. You all must be so tired. Come in, come in. Leaving behind the sinners who were still reeling from the astronomical level of opulence at display, Hong Lu bounced lightly off the Pelican and moseyed into the building. Mossy-eyed, oh my god, I can't read. Moseyed into the building.
그거 참
Quite the
설렘도
light-footed steps he takes, unhindered by excitement nor trepidation. Right?
좋은 집에만 살아서 뭐 무서울 것도 어색할 것도 없고.
Rich boy's got nothing to fear because he's used to this kind of poshness, that's all it is.
그래도 홍루군의 마음 한구석에 가족들에 대한 그리움이 남아있을 것 같지 않은가?
Let's see, apparently this may be a subtle expression of that teensy part of him that longed to see his family again. Once we all left the Pelican, or the Palanquin,
모든 것이 상당히
I find myself beset, overwhelmed by a vastitude of objects of great magnitude. Thanks, Issei.
하인들도 대체
Just how many servants do they have?
아, 술시가 되면 할머니가 방문하신다네요.
Okay. Let's see. Grandmother will visit us once the zoo hour arrives.
연애는 그때
The banquet will start then, I think. Zoo hour. The zoo hour refers to the time between 1900 and 2100. Interesting. This is a unique time system only used in certain regions of the East. Okay. In addition, it would be best to remember that Honglu's grandmother, Ji-mu, is the hierarch of Dongguan. Let's see, of Dongguan-yan, and is incorrect assessment to see her as the ruler of Hongyan. Okay, so she's basically like the de facto ruler, you could say, of the area. That would just be correct. Let's see. Relative is ahead of a wing, I see. Yes. Though she'll be handing over that... Oh, right, yeah. Though she'll be handing that over to the next heir pretty soon. Why now? What does she seek to achieve by abdicating at this time, or at this precise time? Otis, as she probably saw ulterior motives behind every move, inquired.
때가 올 거라고 하시긴 했어요. 당신께서는 너무 오랫동안 만드셨다며 말이죠.
Let's see. She'd been saying that her time would eventually come and that she's carried this responsibility for too long.
갑자기 나타나서 가주대전에 참가한다고 하면 깜짝 놀라시겠어요.
Let's see, I bet she'd be pretty shocked to you'll be taking part of the Family Hierarch War.
글쎄요.
I don't know about that.
담담하실지도 모르겠어요.
Let's see, but maybe she'll take it well.
구태여 나갈 이유는 없지만 나가지 않을 이유도 없었으니까요.
There's never been a reason for me to participate, but there was also not a reason for me to not participate either. Okay.
저쪽에 시추님과 웨인
Oh, Zichun and Wei. It looks like both of them arrived safely. shot us a briefest glance before looking away with exaggerated disinterest.
방금 시추님이
She just turned her back on us. Sinclair, literally, bro. What do you think just happened beforehand? Oh, man. One second, let me,
그 잠깐 사이에 되게 서먹해졌네요.
Well, that didn't take long for things to become super awkward. Yeah, no shit.
오, 우리도 시춘군의 옆에 가서 앉는 것이 어떤가?
There we go. Finally fixed that, my bad. See. We just captured this opportunity to seat ourselves adjacent to young Jichun. Too late. We're forever banned from ever getting anywhere near her.
어째서 온 말인가?
Yet, wherefore?
저희는 이제
We're no longer Jichun's faction. Her hostility is to be expected. I mean, yeah, we're literally on opposing ends now.
분위기가 바뀌었다.
Things have changed.
이쪽과 저쪽.
Us versus them, in-group versus out-group.
전장은 언제나
Deception and treachery are natural parts of war.
오늘의 아군은 내일의 적이 되기도 하고.
I see. Any allies of today may become an enemy tomorrow. Also, before I forget, do I have... Okay, I have voices up on that. Probably do like that. There we go.
친구가 없다는 말을 이렇게
That's a funny way of saying I don't have any friends. Ooh. All right, sickest burn. Thanks, Ishmael.
방금 뭐
What did you just say?
부모님이 저기
Ah,
계시네요.
there are my parents.
갑자기 바로 간다.
Hold on, we're just walking right up to them? Blimey, at least tell us their names.
아, 아버지 조남은 가시 정.
Okay.
그리고 어머니는 대관원에서 왕부인이라고 불리시고.
Father's name is Zheng of the G family. And in Dongguan, they call in Dagyonyon, they call my mother Lady Wang.
출가 이후 처음으로 인사 올립니다.
I greet you for the first time since my departure. Aha.
가시 보. 지금 귀가했어.
Bao Yu of the G family has returned home.
벌써 왔느냐?
You're early.
보가 이게 몇 년 만이니?
How long ago did you leave on this journey?
오랜만에 얼굴을 보니
To see you again after so long. It's so good to see your face.
그지 없구나. 어떤 말부터?
Dart nervously between us and Hong Lu. Meanwhile, his mother gingerly brings him in for a careful embrace as though she was in the presence of something so utterly deeply moving. It was more than pure joy of reunion. So they're Hong Lu's parents.
극진히 환영해 주시니 감사해요.
Thank you so much for your hospitality. And you have certainly spared no expenses. I mean, we're literally having a banquet.
같이 온 분들은 누구니?
So, who are these people that you've come here with?
대단한 숫자는 아니지만 밖에서 사귄 제 친구들이랍니다.
Well, there aren't too many of them. They are my friends that I've made out in the world.
구하라고 소개하던
At least he's not introducing us as his lackeys like a certain someone. Yeah, that did happen. That definitely happened.
야, 그거
Oi, that's... never thought the opportunity to take a pot shot, huh? Slowly turns around to look at us. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but somehow I almost felt like she was looking down at each of us one by one.
반가워요. 우리 보기가 어릴 때부터 참 많았던 아이여서 어쩌면 같이 다니기에 조금 고생스러웠을 텐데.
So glad to meet all of you. Bayu's always been such a stubborn child. I'm sure he was quite the handful to accompany you on your journeys. I hope you can still embrace him despite every... Stubborn? Hong Lu. Whatever it was that she said, they didn't seem all too happy to hear that.
보가
Bayu.
왜 친구 신부분들이
Why do you allow your friends to call you by that name?
거니? 선인들께서 점치해
어?
주신 너의 고귀한 이름을 두고
Is he breaking a rule? Why do you allow your friends to call you by that name? What of your noble, blessed name bestowed upon you by the Reverend Zanren of our elders?
뭐야? 왜
What's
갑자기?
going on with her? Hong Lu reached out and gently yet indifferently held his mother's violently trembling hand.
하잖아요, 어머니.
Of course I would, mother.
그
Because the name is too noble indeed. Ah, I see what's going on here. Okay. I see what's going on. Okay, Dante was right. She was looking down at us. Yes. It's not a name that any rabble should speak so heedlessly. Yeah. I'm sure Heathcliff's gonna take that well. Of course. Bro, Heathcliff is gonna fucking crash out if he hears that. Oh, do you also have an old name and a new name? Well, don't you remember? Back in P Corp, Wei called Hong Lu Young Master Baoyu. I also remember how he announced himself back before that duel on the day we arrived at H Corp. He introduced himself as Baoyu of the G family, or of the G family. I thought it was a pseudonym back then, given the circumstances. Well, I ain't like calling us your real name's gonna cheapen your nobility or whatever. No, Heathcliff, that's not the point. He's don't crash out, dude. Look, Heathcliff, that's not what he's getting at, okay? He's just saying it. He's not trying to like diminish you. I'm sure he understands. It's just a name. You can say it as many times as you want to and it won't depreciate whatever value it has. But some people do actually believe that it does, I suppose. It was wise of you to refrain from using that name. To let your precious name be known amongst the plebeian populace? No way, dude! Bro! I can't believe she just fucking says it, dude! Like, I get it, but wow, okay, fine. To let your precious name be known among the plebeian populace? For the plebeian populace is to encourage knives in the dark to strike, even here too. It is as your mother says, were your true name to be made known, any individual with a passing connection to H Corp would have easily connected you to Hong Yang. It is said that most names are repositories of the keepers of their keepers' origins. An Eastern religion of the city, when the parents name their children, they imbue them with meaning. It carries their wish for their child or their children's place and use in that word. You, what's your name mean then? My name? My name is accumulation of wishes, not only those of my parents, but of many more. It means I was born with precious jade. G value. Awful. Hong Lu is better. At least try to whisper. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Sinclair. I'll call the rich boy however I want to. If I'm ever forced to call you Young Master Baoyu, or some several shit like that, I'd rather take a punch or two from the guy. I could feel the horrified gaze of the servant staring at us. I don't mind, so please continue to call me Hong Lu if you want. Food will be served soon. Oh man, oh my god. Bro, is that the really big shrimp? Oh, what's this? Did they actually expect us to eat all this? I don't think I've ever been intimidated by food before. There was quite literally a mountain of dishes on the table. I was starting to wonder if the purpose of these dishes was more to flaunt their wealth than to feed a reasonable amount of food. A feast! Can we ask for refills, right? Bro. Oh my god, Rodeo. Anyways, what's up with those empty seats over there? Are we still killing time for some guests to arrive?
그건 아닐 것 같아요.
I don't think so. They're probably seats for my older siblings, somewhere in Dongyan, but they probably just didn't want to attend.
오늘은 저를 환영하기 위해 만든
This is a banquet to welcome me, after all. I'm sure they believe it a waste of time to attend.
거예요.
Damn, that's it's kind of cold.
거참 얼마나 부지런하게 사는
Man,
사람들이길래.
they better be on a real busy schedule to miss this.
가모께서 당도하셨나이다.
Let's see, Jimu venerated, be her presence, grace us.
사모께서 당도하셨나이다.
With the announcement, utter silence quickly devoured the busy hubbub of the banquet. Those who were sitting quickly rose to their feet and bowed, while those who were standing kneeled down on all fours, their backs bent so low that their foreheads were nearly touching the floor. Oh, damn. Okay, the woman the woman walking about between them, the crowd in itself, parting down the middle from her sheer presence.
아, 할머니가 오셨네요.
Oh, there's grandmother. Was Hong Lu's grandmother, the family hierarch of H Corp, and its chief executive director. Jiamu's presence was at once warm, gentle, yet immense and overwhelming, like a personification of insurmountable mountain. Damn, we are graced by your presence, venerable Jiamu.
가모님을 뵙습니다. 뭐야? 우리도
Should we bow too? I don't think you could bow any lower with your face halfway through the bowl. You should be fine, probably. Surrounded by a Heisu too, I think. Guys, everything's gonna be fine just as long as we don't do anything stupid. As everyone was bowing before Jiamu, awed and humbled, only Hong Lu looked straight at Jiamu without bowing. Then he got up from his seat and walked towards her.
할머니, 오랜만에
Been a while, grandmother.
보옥도련님, 가까이 올라오시죠.
Please ascend, Master Baoyu. It seemed that a special permission was needed to even stand next to her, as Honglu was allowed to approach her only after the servants gave him the okay.
오가
Little Baoyu.
얼마나 고단하고 여의치 않은 여정이었느냐.
You must have walked and toiled tirelessly on your journey home.
그렇지 않아요, 할머니.
Huh.
함께했던 분들이 모두 친절히 대해주신 덕에 새로운 걸 많이 배울 수 있었는걸요.
Interesting. Not at all, grandmother. I was able to learn so many new things thanks to everyone who treated me so nicely.
배움을 통달하고자 했다면 어떤 학문이든 다 빼어난 선생을 모셔 글방에 앉혀놓을 수도 있었겠지만
As you sought to master the art of learning, no master, regardless of pursuit, would have been out of your reach, or out of our reach. You could have learned as much in the halls of Etrudin, or Etrudin, or Etrudin? Oh, English hard. From them.
글방에 앉아 아무리
For
학문에
tradition?
능통이라고 하더라도 그저 그뿐일 뿐.
Let's see, yet the world taught from the sheets of paper are simply that, words on paper. Yeah, true.
우리는
We wish that you, dear Baoyu, would learn more of the secular world and not let the flow betwixt your fingers the time that is given to you. I mean, yeah, going on a journey around the world basically would be one way to learn the world, although a lot more slower, more direct, and honestly very hit or miss, to be honest. I know this opportunity was more than what I deserved, grandmother.
그래도 가주 자리를 내려놓기 전에 이렇게 잊지 않고 들려줘서 고맙구나.
I appreciate your return and all the same. You should have dined to return before the era of my abdication of the great responsibility. True, very true.
아무래도 이번에 림버스 컴퍼니에 합류한 것은
She's just stuffing her face, bro. Come on. Oh, hold on, I gotta Don't mind me just cleaning my glasses real quick. There we go. Verily, it appears that young Hong Lu signed to Limbus Company, which is a grand turismo of sorts.
Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo? What's that? Can the two of you stop babbling with your mouths full?
삼키고 말할 수는 없나?
유명한 집안의 도련님은 본격적인 대외 활동에 나서기 전에 집안에서 여행을 보내기도 한다네.
Amazing, thank you. The young masters of of families most eminent are oft sent out on the world on a grand tour, thus coined with this practice, Gran Turismo, if thou wilt. Therefore, they are to commence their public activities.
책으로는 배울 수 없는 다양한 경험을 얻고 바깥의 몸에 익숙해지기 위함.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. The purpose is to learn the varied experiences that cannot be gained from books and to grow familiar with the outside world. Yeah, basically, isn't that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term, but have you heard of the term backpacking? Like, I remember, somewhere, I think, it's probably like a documentary on YouTube or somewhere that explains like a bit about backpacking. It's like a European thing where like a good example would be, so Americans, we do road trips. So like sometimes people do a road trip cross country. Europeans will go backpacking, where they'll go from place to place with just stuff in their backpack, and they take like trains and stuff like that to go all across like Europe. And then sometimes I think they go to like the Philippines or something like that. It's basically like the grand journey like they're talking about. You do it like a lot of people say go on one of these types of like spirit journeys or Gran Turismo in this case. You go on one of these things at least once in your life to experience the world before you ground yourself and come back to whatever it is. I think that's at least my knowledge of it. But interesting.
이미 한번 인사를 나누었다지.
Let's see. I heard that you've been with Jichun in the world not too long ago.
그럼요.
I have.
분명한 아이야. 가주 심사 또한 허튼 마음으로 나가는 것이 아닐 테다.
Let's see. A bright child she is, well prepared to take on the challenges of the family hierarch evaluations, I presume.
맞아요. 시춘이라면
I agree.
영민하게 잘
I'm sure Jichun will wisely overcome the trials. Indeed.
어르신들께는 인사를 드렸느냐?
Have you paid a visit to the revered elders then?
방문
I will, soon.
왕부인도 이곳으로 올라오거라.
Lady Wang ascends here as well.
송구합니다, 가문님.
Hurried up to where she stood.
하나뿐인 아들이 출가하여 강호를
It must have caused your heart great distress to have your one and only son depart his home to wander the world beyond the hedges. So, okay, I'm still trying to understand why he went on his journey. It's like, obviously he mentioned it to go and gain more knowledge about the world, but then why is everyone so incredibly overprotective of him? Why not send people with him like how the other siblings have their own guard? Then again, why are you in Limbus Company, right? And there's always a catch. How did we find you? Okay.
아닙니다, 가문님.
Right.
저는
I'm simply glad that my son, Baoyu, has returned as a man who can now more than carry his own weight and unharmed too.
바랄 게 없습니다. 그러니
Thus, dear Baoyu,
재촉할 생각은
I don't mean to rush, but when are you planning to depart again?
출가 날짜는
Still curious, why do you guys want him out so quickly?
정해진 건 없어요. 어머니.
Nothing has been decided yet, mother.
그렇구나. 나는 그저 이곳에 계속 머물러 있다가는 네 소임을 다하지
You might fade before your duties are completed. What do you mean by that? That's what I don't get.
어서 소임을 다하고 돌아와야 가모님께서 맺어주신 그 약조도 지키지 않겠니?
I see, okay. Complete your duties and return soon so that the agreement Jimu has so graciously made for us is filled,
그래.
Indeed.
잃지도 말고
Lose not, forget not.
너는 우리 가문의 하나뿐인 옥이니.
Our family's one and only Jade. So is he supposed to be the family's treasure then? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait. Okay, so the whole point of this was each family member was out to try and find their own treasure. That's why every one of them was out on their journey originally. So, oh shit, wait. So is his Jade, well, him, is he the treasure? Is he what he is presenting? His own knowledge? But then what the hell is everyone else doing? I don't know. This is gonna be weird.
우리의 둘도 없는 진귀한 보물. 이 속세에 남아 있지 말고 때가 되면 다시 떠나 그 가치를 다하거라.
Dear Bao, our peerless treasure, tarry not over long in this mundane world, and leave when the time is right, and fulfill your worth.
그럴게요.
Okay, grandmother.
어머니.
Mother. Interesting. You know, not getting the greatest vibes from them. Not great getting it at all. I mean, at least it's better than when Heathcliff met Hindley. And, you know, everyone was ready to throw hands. By the way, can we talk about... It's been a lot of story, and we got way more story to go. Zhu Bao Chai. I mean, look, to be fair, it's like, I think his story, like the book he's based off of, is literally the longest book out of all of them. So fair enough. I thought the sinners were doomed to chew uncomfortably through this incredibly awkward meal, but Jaimu and her retinue of the Heisho left the banquet hall quite promptly after the exchange. It was as though they had no more reason to remain here.
저들은 홍보를 당도하자마자 떠나는 날을 묻는 것인가?
True. Very true, right?
아끼는 것처럼 보이다가도
Yeah, one moment it appears like they really care about him, and then the appearance of that care for one's own child is also quite distinct and unusual to compare to the typical display of emotional intimacy expressed in the average household. Yeah, that was weird. That was very weird. An unfamiliar chipper voice hopped jovially into our conversation.
나를 제일 먼저 찾아주지 않았어. 내가 머물던 건물은 네가 출가했을 때 이후로 쭉 같았단 말이야.
Zhu Baochai, why didn't you come here to see me first? I've been staying in the same building ever since you departed here, you know.
보차 누나구나. 오랜만이야.
Oh, okay.
여기까지 와서 자리를 채워.
You've come along, let's see, all the way to my banquet hall to fill a seat. I appreciate that. Well, I guess some people care.
미리 알았더라면 우리 설씨 가문의 다른 사람들까지 불러왔을 텐데. 반 오라버니도 얼마나 보호기의 안부를 궁금해했다고.
See, had I known you'd be coming today, Baoyu, I would have summoned everyone I could from the Zhu family to see you too. See, Big Ropan's really been itching to know how you've been doing. Yeah, sure he was. Let's see. Zichun, who had been sitting in complete silence for the entire banquet, muttered quietly to herself.
이곳에 온 다음에 또 누구에게 인사를 올렸어?
Who else have you greeted since you arrived today, Baoyu?
부모님과 가모님께
Parents and Jiamu.
정말? 그러면 내가 첫 번째네.
Oh, really? So I'm your first then. And a cheerful remark before leaning up to his eye.
네 옥은 언제 봐도 멋지고 깨끗하다.
Yeah, that makes sense because of the jade in the eye. Your jade is always glimmering and pristine, Baoyu.
네가 떠난 뒤에도 계속 기억하려고 그 색과 똑같은 목걸이를 만들어서.
Ah, I see.
어때?
Look, I made a necklace in the same color as your eye, and I wore it every single day to constantly remind me of you, or to remind myself of you. Well, do you see it? Oh, you have. Thank you for remembering me. My man just said no, shot down. He's like, okay, damn. Uh-huh. So you're gonna introduce her to us, or...
아니,
Hey, why couldn't we just ruin the nice reunion and let that nice reunion play out, man? I like that Greg's just like, hey, do we really have to interrupt this one? Ready to step forward, unable to stand the curiosity. Oh, she's...
보차라고 한답니다.
Let's see. I'm Bao Chai. Bao Chai of the Zhu family. I have a very profound relationship with dear Bao Yu here.
깊은 인연?
A very profound relationship? He is my betrothed, and I to him.
깊은
I'd say that's pretty profound, huh?
어울리지 않겠나요?
I mean... What? Yeah? It's nothing to be surprised about. These profound relationships can be established effortlessly in a simple exchange of agreements between our elders. So it's an arranged marriage, then. I see. Okay.
아니, 그래도
Hey, you could have at least given us a hint. But I won't be married until I leave Limbus company, though.
떠났을 때일 텐데요. 그러니 굳이
I just thought that it wasn't relevant enough to share. I mean, yeah, kind of. You didn't have to, but you could have.
저 아까 살짝
Sorry about overhearing earlier, but you guys are Baoyu's friends, right?
보기가 지금까지
I've been so curious to hear what kind of life Baoyu lives out there.
너무 궁금한데
You to share some tales of your journey with me?
괜찮다면 소녀에게 그대들의 여행기를 들려주실 수 있을까요?
Okay.
어리는 가라.
I don't have stories for kids, Shu! Damn, Ryoshu.
왜요? 저 피비
But I love stories about bloodshed. What the fuck is wrong with you?
아, 보차 누나의 취미 중 하나가 도시 괴담 서적
What?
보기였거든요.
What the fuck? Let's see, one of Big Sister Bao Chai's pastimes was curating creepy stories of urban legends. Then maybe I'll share some.
하면 조금만 들려주도록 할까?
Bro, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that at all.
다른 분들
What about everyone else?
저 모험담
Uh-huh.
정말 좋아하는데
Careful what you wish for.
앉아보시게.
I knew it! I knew it, of course! The resident LARPer needed to step in. She's like, this is my calling.
귀한 곰이 살고 있었지.
Ah, I beseech thee to find a seat, for I shall regale thee with a tale in which an adventure of the most wondrous and valorous unfold. Brace thyself for this particularly olden and terrifying tale, featuring a big, scary bear lurking in a cavern. Hey, what's up, Leaf? How you doing?
식사 끝났어.
If you're finished with your meals, why don't we all go back to our residences?
시춘이는 오늘도 화가 많이 났구나.
Last I heard, you lost so much of your followers in a large battle, didn't you?
많이 줄었다고 들었어.
I used more than 3 handkerchiefs wiping my tears away upon hearing the news. Dude,
세 장이 넘었지 뭐니?
you heard about the D&D session, Stan, dude? Yeah, so... Like, yeah, in the Discord, like I was talking about. So my D&D group were put on hold for like 2-ish weeks. Because our DM's going on a cruise. So now it's like, well, I guess we're taking our mandated D&D break. It happens sometimes, what can I say? Also, dude, that's crazy. I used more than 3 handkerchiefs. It's like, look, okay. Part of me is like, either 1, you're kind of a dick, or 2, you're really performative, or 3, maybe you're just that emotional. I don't know how I feel about Chai, to be honest. Like, meh.
벌써 설씨가의 귀에도 들어갔고.
The Zhu family hurt too.
맞아?
You're not wrong, but that's irrelevant to what I've brought to the Family Hierarch War.
아무 관계
I mean, true. Also, wait a minute. Damn, wait. Okay, so Hong Lu's tall. She's kind of tallish. She's about average size, I guess. Damn, your sister is so goddamn short, bro. Damn.
시춘이는
I'm always a big fan of your confidence, Ishun. It's a good look, you know? I mean, yeah.
그리고 보차 언니도
That reminds me, you better watch your back, Big Sis Bao Chai. It looks like Big Brother Bao Yu's learned how to sink a knife into your back with that same carefree smile. Ooh.
못본 사이에 재주가 돼.
갑자기 뒤통수 치는 게 재주가 되었다니.
What's she mean by you knifing people in the back?
시춘이랑
I just had a small falling out with Jichun, that's all.
아하, 시춘이가 너를 포섭하려고
Get you on her side, huh?
탐낼만 했을 거야.
Yeah,
보기는 옛날부터 언제나 해맑게
but he was always excelled without stressing out or losing that happy smile. I don't know, man. Look, all I'm saying is when Honglu crashes out, we're gonna see like the crash out of biblical proportions. Hold on, I just gotta check something real quick. Hold up. Let me do this real quick. We can do that. This is gonna look a little jank. Hold on. If I just do that, and then I do this. There we go. Don't mind me, I'm just moving some stuff around here, fixing this. There we go, we'll do it like that. Aspect ratios and stuff, you know? Alright, anyways.
그냥 하다 보니까 잘
It just kind of worked out like that.
좀 재수없는 스타일이긴 했었다.
I guess it can be a bit irritating like that, huh? Yeah?
저런 유형도
Mhm.
드물지만
Some people, though rare, are indeed like that.
그러고 보니
That reminds me.
혹시
Did you by any chance run into Big Brother Kikyu? Interesting. You saw some guy. Wait, hold on. You get off topic. You saw some guy in. Let's see, in the following place, some trouble in terrorist town, and you're in the mood for some chaotic sandboxing. And damn, dude, I haven't played Gary's mod in forever, dude. It's been so long since I've thought of trouble in terrorist town.
다행이네.
That's good. She placed her hand over her chest as though she had survived an incredibly dangerous accident before eyeing us anxiously. So what happened?
사이와를 포섭하려고 했던 건 알아.
I do know he was trying to ally, but Shiyun,
사이와 걔만 빼고 아무도 없었던 것 같지만.
even that alliance other than Shiyun himself, but it must have been a pretty open secret among the candidates that Jiakwan was trying to ally with Shiyun.
같이 있던
Yeah, that did definitely happen. Certainly did. Let's see, they cut Big Brother's Yihua's head off when he was with us. Oh my! Horizontally or vertically? Bro. Man, why is everyone a little bit fucked up like that? Used to dabble with a bit of like dark RP back in the day. Those were fun. You wonder what the RP community is like nowadays. Dude, you know, what did I do? I think I just played tons and tons of Prop Hunt. That's what I remember doing a lot of in Gmod. That or like Death Run. I feel like that's primarily what we ended up playing. H. Yeah, thanks. I like that. No, hold up. Was it horizontally or vertically? H. Thanks, Ryoshu.
이번이 세 번째인가
Huh, so this is his third time.
기와도 참.
Really incredible. He never knows when to zip it and sit down. What do you mean the third time? What? What, did you guys stitch his head back on again? Big Brother Q, I had a feeling that he'd be here when the Family Hierarch War begins. Everyone in the Dagon Yon heard that creepy song from the back streets. Yeah, we did hear that, but I don't think that's the one of the reshaping day thing that we saw. Every time there's any mention of him. Yeah. Interesting. I guess it's fortunate that he won't be coming after me once the competition begins. And why is that? What? I don't know about that one. Because I'm simply too charming and adorable to kill outright, of course. Yeah, okay. Okay. Same, Otis.
그리고 치유 오라버니가
Mhm.
필요하는 게 뭔지는 모르겠지만
They probably have nothing to do with the zoo family.
는 아닐 테니까요.
Okay.
그럴
I
수도
can see that. Let's see. Took a step towards Hong Lu and leaned in close to his face.
오, 여전히 내게서 좋은 향이 나고 있는 것 같아.
Do you smell my fragrance still, Balyu?
보천 누나에게
You've never reeked. Bro.
오, 나는 쭉 형무원을 거쳐.
I've always been and ever will be residing at the Hangmuyan, or the Ginger Plant Court. Promise to pay me a visit before you leave. And with that, she gracefully walked out of the room.
저희도 이만 돌아가는 게 어떨까요?
Well, how about we also start heading back? This place can get pretty dark around high hour. You, why'd you leave?
왜 떠났냐?
You know, all things considered, the fact that it's Heathcliff asking this question is like really heavy because, well, Heathcliff certainly left for a goddamn reason from his home. But yeah, why did he leave then?
별거 아니랍니다. 어릴 때 종종 같이 놀던 누나예요.
It's nothing. She's just a big sis I used to play with when I was a child.
대관원에서 제게 친절을 보여주신
One of the very few
누나였죠.
in Dongyeon who was nice to me. He also picked up an anime about refined ladies forming a rock band. You like the concept, but you just don't know how suggestive some of the stuff is. Damn. So, where should we head to next? Good question.
이번엔 정말 기대해봐도 되는 거지?
Let's see. Just to be going by the scale of everything here, it should be safe to expect something real ritzy, right?
제 손님으로 오셨으니
You're my guest, so you should be able to stay in my building with Dongwon, or within Dongwon.
그리 멀지 않아서
It's within walking distance from here. We should be there in no time, even on foot. Okay. Look, it's okay. We're getting tons of the lore bombs. Just wait until like we get into more of the for real serious combat. I know that's not gonna be easy. Of course, we're gonna need to have some wacky stuff happen, of course. Okay, 8-8. Let's see, Yihong Yan. And we'll stick with our rupture team. It'll be fun. You're watching it, and it's good IMO. The one thing that you had a minor note on was them thrashing on the idea of vocals being a crutch. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting. I do kind of want to check that out. But yeah, no, the idea of vocals being a crutch, and nah. Look, you can have a lot of really good music even without vocals. Ta-da, here we are. That was a pretty long walk. Still technically within walking distance, but this place is called the Joyous Red Court, the Yihongyang.
홍원에서 제일 향긋한 꽃나무로 만든 방이어서 숨을 크게 들이쉬는 거죠?
This room was made from the most aromatic flower tree within H Corp. Try taking a deep breath and you could smell the lovely fragrance of flower aroma, pervading and spreading to the very tip of your nose. It's unique to this building. Very much so. Let's see. It is an unseen and invisible thing, yet it remains, or yet it retains much of its pleasant redolence. This place is huge too. You've been living here all alone. Alone all along.
더 넓은 방에서 지내라고 하셨지만 여기가 마음에 들어서요.
Interesting. I was told to stay in a larger room, but I prefer this place more. Oh, Zirin. Let's see, it has been a long time, young Master Zirin. Or young Master Zirin reporting. Oh, hey, is she...
스빈.
I've been well. Ah.
네, 평소와 같았습니다.
She watched us emotionally as emotionlessly English. As our rowdy crowd poured into the courtyard, or poured into the yard, her expression did not change even when she saw Hong Lu, who presumably hadn't been home in quite some time.
분들은
도련님의 손.
Are they young master's guests? I will guide them to their rooms. Please follow me.
따라오시죠.
저는 따로 방문할 때가 있어서.
Now that we're here, I've got to pay a visit somewhere. I'll be back soon, though.
어디를 가시는 겐가? 우리도 함께.
Allow us to accompany thee.
괜찮아요.
It's okay.
어르신들께 문안 인사를 드리는.
Just on my way to say hello and pay my respects to the elders, so it'll be better if I go there alone.
자, 이쪽으로. 뭐 전이나 그랬지만
I guess I could say this about every operation, but
이렇게 현장까지 직접 와서
the weight of our mission doesn't really sink in until we're actually there. Yeah, very true. I mean, to be fair, Ishmael, we went and literally killed a fucking whale, you know? So, I mean, it is what it is. We, killed a whale, fuck Captain Ahab, some fun shit, and now we're, it's like that meme where I'm sitting here where I've got, like, the Bible in Chinese in one ear and I've got Mozart in the other, and that's kind of what's happening right now.
가주 대전 말씀인 거죠?
Talking about the Family Hierarch War, yeah.
다른 후보들은
Yeah, the other candidates have been preparing for this for years. Meanwhile, we have, what, an overnight?
해야만 하는 거고요.
I mean, that's true. Compared to, like, everyone else, this is, like, a plot years in the making for them. Meanwhile, we just roll on in and truck our way through in one night.
나는 부닥치기 타입이어서 그런가. 그렇게 생각하니까 오히려 자신감이.
You know, to be honest, Radia, you're kind of right. Because every other time we've done this, we literally roll up the same day, and within that same day, we roughly solve a problem. Maybe we're just that good, okay? Let's see, I don't know. I'm a procrastinate until, I'm a procrastinate until the last minute kind of gal. So I'm pretty sure we got a handle on this. I want to say you're right, but I'm just saying, look, I don't know whose crash out's going to be worse. Like, Heathcliff was pretty bad. He distorted. I'm pretty sure Hong Luz is going to be a crash out of, like, biblical proportion at this point. This is not the first instance in which we were demanded to work through a task in an unfavorable, inequitable situation.
상관없지 않겠나. 어차피 우리가 노리는 것은
What does it matter? Our goal isn't to claim the throne of a family hierarchy anyway. Well, I mean, it's part of the goal, right? At least that's what our mission brief was. A few hours ago.
천만다행이지 않겠어요?
Ah, I see. So now we're finally going to get the other part of the plan that wasn't told. Well, isn't it such a relief that our goal isn't to come in first place in the Hierarch War? You're right. Okay, alright. So we don't have to win. We just need to participate. Does that mean we needn't be the first?
당연하죠.
Yeah, obviously. Why would we want a sinner to become the head of H Corp? I mean, it would be a benefactor type of deal, you could say, but still. Would it not provide much more reliable or much more reasonable means to control the plant individual in this company at the highest seat of the wing instead of letting an unaffiliated individual assume it? I'm glad Otis and I were thinking the same thing. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes, guys. Besides, LCV still has much left to do as the LCV. Interesting. Okay, I see. So it sounds like they've got plans within plans for everyone. It's just, we've got to take care of what we got to do first. Okay, all right, interesting. I'm curious to see where we're going with that. Yeah, that's right, Faust. You're not going to tell us anyways, of course. I'd be right to assume that this isn't a winner-takes-all kind of situation here. Do other candidates get something for participating? Anyone who places within the top 10 will gain the right to take one item of their choice from the family treasury. Of course, the one who places the highest goes first. We're gonna need to come in at least second place to ensure that we obtain the item we're looking for. True. Let's see, I know the best music anime is Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. Posted the actual subs. Really? Let's see, Rock is a lady's modesty. Now, you want to know what another one I was thinking of? Okay, an older music-themed manga, which is a really funny read, is Detroit Metal City. And if you haven't read Detroit Metal City before, read it. Because, first off, it's a whole music manga that's a parody of, like, heavy metal. and it is really, really funny because you've got the main character who's the equivalent of the underground rock world's Gene Simmons in Japan, and it's so silly because when he's not being like this heavy punk rock or like this heavy metal guy, he's like, oh, I'm just a nerd, I want to be making light music. It's great, it's fun, I love it, it's so silly. Like, the manga is just so funny to read because it's like, dude, not only is it just like a bunch of like rock references and like other like famous rock people pop in as a joke, it's just an all-around funny thing where it's like, I think the funniest one was, I remember when he's like writing songs in a book on the train, and then someone looked at it and said, oh my god, it's disturbing, and they called the cops on him, and he got so angry he wrote new lyrics to a song, and it was literally him just literally screaming out the digits of pi, and he's on stage screaming it out, and then he sees the lady who called the cops on him in the crowd. It was so funny, dude, and he's just like fuming. He goes, damn, I hate people. It's a really funny read. It's a good read. Oh man. Now that's weirdly insulting. Sod it. Why don't we just shoot for the top anyways? Your confidence seems to have gone through the roof since our last operation together. We did go through a lot of crazy stuff. Anyways, care to guess what's deep inside Hongmon's gargantuan treasury? Probably a bow. Yep, a golden bow. Right on, buried in the middle of all kinds of other treasures, along with any knowledge of its true value. So Faust, what did Manager Sade share with you as our strategy for the first round? I very much wish to know as well, for the suggestion of mutual understanding seemed to exist exclusively betwixt Miss Faust and Sade.
가주 심사위를 찾아낸 내용은 지금까지 후손들이 대관원의 어르신들을 위해 준비해놓은 것을 시험하는 자리입니다.
Okay, so the first round of the hierarchy evaluation tests what the descendants have prepared and brought for the elders. And what the descendants have prepared, huh? So this must be what Jichun has been referring to this whole time.
불로불사에 관한 것이죠.
Yes, to be free from aging and death. She's looking for immortality. Each candidate is to present an answer before the judge and demonstrate their idea of true immortality. Interesting. That's... okay. Right, so what's the answer to true immortality, then? That's a loaded gun question, Dante. I mean... I mean, technically, Dante, aren't you that? I mean, you're technically making them immortal, when you think about it that way. Interesting face. I mean, look, Dante is a very interesting man, what can I say? And even Faust can answer that. I mean... I think I just answered it. I mean, what's immortality in this case? Literally fucking cheating. Dante can bring you back to life if you die. Is this before or after DMC 5? We're playing DMC 14 right now. What are we even doing here? I see. Yep, there we go. We may be able to demonstrate a facility of immortality, or at least pretend as though we are close to the answer. Honestly, want to create a warlock inspired by Dante's design? Yeah, for real. Peak combat, or the peak of combat, or whatever. Dude, I think I tried playing that game once, Filippo. Philip, I tried to play that on my phone one time. Bro, that shit heated the fuck up out of my phone. I played it like once or twice. I'm like, okay, maybe this kind of sucks. A warlock patron? Yo, dude. No, a warlock patron with that look would go fire, dude. You could pop popcorn with it? Yo, for real? Dude, it's so funny because it's like, no, his head's just actually on fire, but it's like, I don't know if it's like real fire, maybe it's like the radiant halo design, like he's supposed to be like an angel or like something. I don't know, bro. There's so much you could go with it. See, given that they are the ones who are seeking that very answer, they will not disqualify us, Hong Lu to be exact, from the competition. I mean, look, to be fair, she is kind of right. When we literally are cheating, reviving dudes left and right, I mean, that technically counts, right? What's the Bishi?
그럴듯해 보인다면 악착같이
Oh my god. See, they will cling on to whatever clue they can get their hands on, so we'll be using that desperation. I mean, that's one way to do it.
그렇습니다.
Precisely.
그 가모인가는 제일 높아 보이는 사람도 그 녀석을 많이 아낀다며. 가산책 같은 걸 줄지 어떡해.
I love you, Heathcliff. Like, that important looking old bat. Dude, he just called his grandma the old bat, bro. Come on. Let's see, favors him, don't she? Maybe she'll give him bonus points or something. Thank you, British Heathcliff. So that's what we'll be using Hong Lu for. I see.
그건
That is...
맞아요.
Yes, you're right.
이제 제
It's my
차례가
turn to be used. Did you see the height on that forehead? Dude. I know, dude.
언제 오셨어요?
He's got the opposite of the Vegeta head. Whoa, when did you get back? Sinclair, calm down, bro. Hong Lu nonchalantly chimed into the conversation, having slipped in between us unnoticed. Hey, you're back pretty soon, huh? Unfortunately, what Otis just said could sound quite crass, depending on how you cut it. Hong Lu, you don't have to mind what she just said.
걸러들을 필요가 없었는걸요?
But why would I mind it?
저의 쓰임새는 홍원의 황금가지를 회수하기 위한 것.
Interesting.
그리고 그러기 위해 가주 대전에 나가는 것이니까요. 그릇된 말은 아니랍니다.
I mean, yeah, that's still technically true. Still technically true. My use is to be a ticket to participating in the Hierarch War. The only option for obtaining a golden bow in H Corp. She didn't say anything wrong. Your use.
이왕 쓰이는 거 모두가 기뻐할 수
Well,
있는 쪽으로 흘러가게 되면
if you'll be
좋겠네요.
using me, hopefully this will lead to an outcome where we can all be happy.
모두가 기뻐하기에는 친구는 아까도 눈이 마주쳤는데 엄청 생코낌을 내면서 피해버렸소만.
Verily, such an outcome would be best. Yet, young Zichun hath already exhaled with great gusto out of her nostrils before turning away from our party once our eyes have met. Look, I appreciate it, Dawn, but damn. She wanted to commit to the bit. I guess she's sticking with the LARPing, so we've got our theatrics voice.
시춘이하고는
Well, Zichun... Hong Lu's eyes twinkled briefly, as though he was sifting into a dream.
다시 사이가 좋아지게 될 줄은 몰랐어요.
I didn't think it was possible for me to be friends with Zichun again.
비록 지금은 다시 원래 상태로
We're back to not being on speaking terms again, but
잠깐이라도
it was as though I'd gone back in time to when we were both children.
이제는 까마득하고
But we can't go back to the past.
시절이죠.
방금 뭐라고 했어?
What did you say?
지금 제정신으로 그 말을 나한테 한 거야?
Are you drunk on something, or did you really just say that to me?
바보 같은 질문을 했네.
What a stupid thing of me to ask.
오빠는 평생 취한 적도 없을 테니까 언제나 또렷하고 맑은 정신이었고.
You've never been drunk in your life. Your mind's always been so damn clear. We can't go back to the past, Jack. No. Oh, let me drink some water.
화내고 소리 질러도 오빠에겐 아무런 타격도 없을 거 아니야.
None of this matters to you, does it? Even when I get angry at you, or when I shout at you like this, none of it gets to you, does it? I also stand like that. Fair enough. Like, everyone's got their own idol poses, you know? Just, what happened to you that day? How can someone become so...
시춘, 나는
Gem of the family? That's one way to give him a title. You and I.
됐어, 마음대로 해.
Forget it. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. It's my fault for expecting to have at least one normal sibling in this messed up family. That sucks. Hit him with the Ryoji. Gotta hit him with the... just stretch. In that memory, Hong Lu was wearing a quiet smile even before her hushed anger. But you don't want to be friends with her again. Huh. At the end of all things, these connections between people, they're just moments, ephemeral things. So what I want doesn't matter. Man, okay. Alright. We're gonna interlude here. This is very interesting again, because this is yet another example of, like, the extreme nihilism that we're seeing here. Like, I feel bad for him, because it's like, he's basically given up on everything so far to a point where now he just goes with the flow, and again, another example of, well, what happened that day? Yeah, what happened? What led you to just kind of becoming this meandering, wandering thing? Hong Lu. A sinner so aloof and so detached that it feels as though he's always floating through the clouds. I once thought that was just the kind of guy he was, someone who just happened to be above everything that's happening around us, instead of just another messed up person with a messed up problem of their own. But, slowly and gradually, I'd begun to realize that there was something off about him underneath the surface. Hong Lu. About participating in the Family Hierarch War. Do you really not feel anything about it? Have you completely excluded yourself from it? Interesting. I don't, and I have. It's just the way things have always worked out, right?
저자의 가치 판단이 이 회사의
I feel really bad about this again, because once again, he's just diminishing his own self-value. Executive managers are true.
파우스트도 동의합니다. 수감자에게 작전 수행에 대한 거부권은 존재하지 않으므로.
My bad. There we go. Some music played in the background. Oh no, my bad. Hold up. There we go. Got confused. I was like, what is that sound? I had to like double check something. We're good.
그건 사실일 테요. 허나
That may be true, yet
그에 따르는 마음의
I find it unnecessary to turn away and neglect the suffering conditions of their hearts, stemming from the obligations to their missions. I mean, look, out of everyone, it's definitely you saying that would know this the most, considering, well, everything he'd sort of gone through in this mess. Man. Conditions of our hearts. But perhaps unnecessarily peering into them is how we beget suffering. What manner of... Back then, when I lived here in Dagonyan, oh, so many choices have passed before my eyes. Should I kill that child who was from a different family? Should I even survive? Should I walk past the dying boy, or should I have stopped to help him? When they were first presented to me, I tried to make a choice. But it didn't take that long for me to realize my choices meant nothing. Damn. My man's been stuck in a David Cage game. No, but for real though. No, this is definitely like an extreme case of nihilism, where it's like, nothing ever happens, right? Oh. So I decided to not choose at all. And that's me, as I am now.
limbuscompany에 입사하게 된 후에 좋았던 점은 수도 없이 많지만
There were so many wonderful things about joining Limbus Company, but
제가 무언가 선택하지 않아도 된다는 점이 제일 좋았던 것 같아요.
I think my favorite part of the experience was that I was never given a choice. So you would rather... So you feel content with just drifting along with the flow then? Having no complete control of your life and letting others decide for you then? Okay, that's concerning.
조금
Yeah, that's definitely kind of weird. Yeah, I'm with Ishmael on that.
어라?
Oh,
분위기가
it looks like
조용해졌네요.
things have gotten quite weird around, or weirdly quiet around here.
사담은 여기까지 하도록 하죠.
That was enough discussion of private matters.
되었습니다.
There's much more ground for us to cover.
1차 대전의 계획에 대해 말씀드리죠.
Okay. The next morning. There's still some time until we have to leave.
밤에는 잘 보이지 않았지만 이
Of these scarecrows, veiled in nocturnal shadows they were at yesterday.
아, 아직도 있었네요.
Oh, they're still here.
이곳에 자제들이 거처하는 건물
Training courts.
이런 식의
Next to every building where children live. Okay.
뛸 나이가 될 쯤엔 누구나 이 허수아비들이랑 놀는 겁니다.
Oh, so they're just training dummies. I see. Here, every children of walking, running age, all get to play with these dummies. Play. Early education is important.
조기 교육은 중요하지.
Yeah, that makes sense.
허수아비랑 어떻게
Yet, how do you play with one of these dummies?
그나저나
It appears this dummy is adorned with the most dashing piece of fashion for its head.
아, 그건 제가 7살 때 처음 받았던
The first
허수아비예요.
dummy I received when I was 7.
그때는 말이죠. 허수아비도
Even
때문에
dummies could feel pain when struck.
모든 어린아이가 처음에는 그리 생각했을 것이요.
Such was the blissful rumination of all those who were once children.
그럼 여기에 태어나는 아이들은
So is it like tradition for kids born here to formally learn how to fight?
아, 그건 아니에요.
Not exactly.
이번에 할머니가 형한테 선물로 주셨다는 게
So this is what grandmother gifted to you, big bro?
맞아. 그런데
I don't know how it works though.
옷 같은 걸 입혀주거나
It's supposed to be a doll or an effigy for dress up, or perhaps you could adorn it with some trinkets.
보호형 집을 지켜주는 수호신 같은 걸지도
Maybe it's got like a guardian spirit that protects your house, big bro, by you.
걸치고
Oh boy.
이건 말이지. 이렇게
Let me show you how it's done. It's been a while since you've heard Korean. The last time you heard Korean was back when you were still playing Closers Online. Yep. That's right. All of the Project Moon games are originally voiced in Korean. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a tidbit for you.
형이 할머니가 준 선물을 때렸어.
Why'd you punch Grandma's gift? Don't you think you're hurting it?
아파해?
Hurt it? Really, now this wooden thing.
이렇게 자라나야 살아남을 수 있다는 게
It's more they have to grow up this way if they want to survive.
생각보다 제대로 된 수목인이군.
This WTD isn't so bad. Let me guess, wooden training doll? Yeah, or wooden training dummy, there you go.
출발하기까지 제법
With some precise engineering, we still have some time until the departure, so why don't we try using them for a warm-up? Sure, why not?
땀나는 거
I don't want to get all sweaty though. Well, it's not like these things will pose us any danger. I think we can try them out, just once to see how we're doing today.
들었나 제군들.
Attention! We have orders from the executive manager. From this moment forth, we will put our all into laying into utter ruin of these dummies. Hey, I didn't even give an order. Oh well, it won't hurt to get our blood pumping now. All forces charge! Oh, hell yeah. Oh boy, time to go beat up some dummies.
이 안정감 있고 부드럽게 잡히는
Oh no. Okay, hold on, I do want to take a look at these guys. Wooden dummies. Okay, they're treated as abnos. Oh no, they just don't have sanity, obviously. Okay, offense down. Gain clash power for every type of negative. Okay, so that's funny. So I guess this is the thing that's going to be going on. Okay, offense levels down to basically make us deal less damage. And it more or less is just a lot of upgradable training dummy. At the end of this turn, if this unit failed to hit, gain the skill clash power. Oh, I see. So they're just going to be a pain in the fucking ass. Remember the basics. If this unit was hit by 4 or more skills, all enemies that attack this unit apply +1 damage. Okay, alright, so that's kind of a fun way to go about it. Let's see, we'll do that to build stacks. Unopposed. Well, this one's a clash, so we can just offset. This one's going to nowhere. We can do Wishing Talisman and then do that. Okay. Okay, okay. Damn, we need sanity, bro. We can't roll heads. Come on. Come on, Heath. Okay, so they're gonna have Clash up. I've got one offense up, that's alright. That should still be fine, that could beat it. Although it's on a Clash. Still fine. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Pump the damage, do the damage. There we go. Bro, how do you even stagger a dummy? This is just kind of silly for some of these. Nice, we like unopposed. And then we can do that. Alright, big hit. Oh, this thing's dead as fuck. And another one is staggered. And this should kill, because it shouldn't. Yep, it'll explode because of the stack. Nice. Oh, and there we go. We get the coin reset because of the passive on it. Nice. You love to see it. And then we're definitely going to be able to just kill the staggered one. You have 18. That's fine. We can just do that. And there we go on the Clash Wind effect. Alright. Okay, okay, alright. Big explosion. You'll love to see it. Okay. Okay, alright, alright. Yeah, and then we can just kind of just blow it up. It'll be fine. Bruh. Not the offense down. Look, we're still gonna just deal tons of damage anyways. It'll be fine. Look, the debuff stacking with passives from it. Nice, good. Very good. And there we go. Easy peasy. What a nice little warm-up. I'm sure things won't go to absolute shit soon. You know, it's funny. It kind of reminds me of, like, because obviously we've seen tons of dialogue already, but it's funny because it kind of reminds me of what happened when, so when the game first came out, it had the first 3 chapters available, and the first, like, new season and, like, major content update was chapter 4, and I remember they had to delay chapter 4 because there was so much dialogue in it that it had basically turned into a novel's length of dialogue, and they just needed more time to translate the story. Like, it was just that much stuff that came out. I think that's also why they probably are doing, like, a staggered release now, because, like, we're going to do as much of this, obviously, as we can, but there is a certain point where it's, like, it'll just halt us, because, well, the rest of it won't be available until, like, way later, I think. Or, like, by the end of the month, so, like, a week or 2. We'll stick with the same team. It'll be fine. Look, once we start struggling, that's when we start making changes. That's how you know. But I think for now, we're fine to just stick with our Rupture team. Oh boy, the next round of these. Okay, these guys are slightly different. Okay, so these guys are just going to inflict defense down. The other ones were offense down. Same deal? Yes, same deal. Okay. Alright, same shtick.
길좀 막지 마.
Oh boy, does this mean the next one's going to be a mix of the two of them?
13조 2항에 맞추려면 그게 제격이지. 잘했다. 마무리까지 끝나면 너희 안가품 장부에 특별히 한정판 고양이 스티커를 붙여주기.
Yeah, and then we could just do that. He'll basically have enough rupture built up on a target.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
And also, if you were wondering, wow. If you were wondering, correction. Rupture is basically true damage. It's like a stacking true damage. And we basically stack it up and then explode it on targets. Well, we don't manually explode it, but it'll go off. It's just pretty good. You know, we could use other teams like bleeding and other stuff like that, but why not? Let's have some fun with the Rupture. That and it's like, I think the new character units that did come out recently are also Rupture. It's just, unfortunately, I did not roll them on the banner. So for now, we don't have them. I can't craft them until like, I think like 2 weeks after they come out. So probably won't be able to craft them until later. But hey, fingers crossed. Hopefully I get in the daily pulls down the road. Oh no, not the one-sided. Okay, well at least he evaded most of that. I'll take that. Okay, we still don't have enough yet to use Ebony Stem, so we'll just do that. That'll be fine. Hold on. We're going into a counter. You know what? Let's do something fun. Fuck it. Let's do something fun. And in that regard, hold up. If we're doing something fun, let's go all the way. Surely we won't lose the clash.
흐름을 따라 달려가면 역시 여기 숨어 있었네요.
Or you could just, you know, not roll heads at all, so it did like no damage. Unlucky. Okay, okay. At least we're getting some more staggers out there. Nice, love to see it. Oh, it's this doesn't matter. It's so dead. It has 9 HP. And we can just do that. There we go. It's okay, the counter doesn't matter. It's gonna die. Oh yeah, yeah, it's super dead. And there you go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. How refreshing. I mean, well, it was different, you know. Getting to fight training dummies instead of, you know, just murdering dudes out in the street for a change. Nice, Greg.
매번 큰일 있기 전에 시비나 걸리고 시작하니까 결국 이렇게까지 몸을 풀어야 직성이 풀리게 되어.
Morning's feeling complete without some action. I mean, you know, look, we've gone from being a big squad of murder hobos to now being like professional murder hobos, you know?
그래도 유의미한 준비 운동이었다.
Nevertheless, this was a meaningful warm-up activity.
그런데 홍루 씨는
Meaning to ask, Honglu.
가주 대전에 참가를 할 생각이 없었던 건가요?
Why did you never consider participating in the Family Hierarch War before?
다른 형제자매분들은 아주 오래전부터 기다려왔던 것 같아서요.
Yeah, that is a good question. It seems to me that all of your other siblings have been waiting to train all their lives for this event.
단순해요.
Simple.
가주가 되고 싶다고 생각한 적은 한 번도 없었으니까요.
Because I never once wanted to be the Family Hierarch. I mean, alright, I mean, fair enough, but...
정말로 다행이지 않니?
Is it not truly most fortunate?
옥을 물고 태어나지 않았다면 영락 없이 네 다른 형제 자매처럼 가주 대전을 준비하며
Interesting.
겪어야 했을 거란다.
Had you not been born with the Jade, my son, you would have had to toil your life preparing for the Family Hierarch War like your other siblings do.
너는 그런 것에
You needn't waste your strength on those things. In favor of the elders, Jimu, venerated be their blessing. Interesting. Simply witness as much as the world has to offer. Jade of our family, my precious son value. It's still kind of concerning to me. Very concerning, actually. Because... Okay. More memories. What's wrong, you saying? You seem kind of distraught.
어제 파우스트 양이 일컬어주었던 말이요.
It's to do with the plan Miss Faust had explained to us last night. I find the plan rather detestable. You know, to be honest, I'm kind of with you there, you saying. Like, okay, look. I understand, you know, us being able to revive people technically would work as evidence of immortality, but at the same time, though, you still gotta basically take one for the team. You know what I mean? I'm not super fond of the idea either. Yeah, same. But Honglu said he's okay with it, so... I mean... Can we even call it a plan if we're being honest here? Not really. Well, it's better than nothing, so I mean... It matches the definition of a plan, given that it illustrates certain instructions to be followed for the purpose of achieving a defined goal. Thanks, Risol.
가주 대전에 두 번째 기회라는 건 없으니까요.
Very true. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Not like we had a choice, Faust. Bum. It's got the hats. It has a little face carved onto it. Oh. No, the game froze. There we go.
생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐고 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면
Yeah, not surprised that the pack is doing that good. Well, I mean, look, at least we're gonna get like Mal Faust, so we can swap that out eventually. Although I do want the Rhodia and Gregor one, but probably not gonna get them for a bit.